Banking. Maybe you enjoy the person-to-person attention you get going to your bank. Maybe you enjoy the convenience of banking from home sweet home. Or maybe you like the flexibility of paying your bills, applying for a loan, or talking to your personal banking person from wherever fits your fancy. Then definitely, you should bank at Mountain West Bank. Member FDIC. The easy, convenient, any way you want to bank.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. And I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
I'm Dr. Christine Hahn. I'm an infectious disease doctor, and I'm Idaho's Medical Director for Public Health. It's my mission to keep our communities healthy and safe. That's why I believe every Idahoan should get their COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine's been tested. It's proving to be very safe, and it's the most effective tool we have to stop the spread.
Walk into a pharmacy or visit covidvaccine.idaho.gov to find your free COVID-19 vaccine.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to an IdahoSports.com Game Streams production of Treasure Valley Game Night, presented by Mountain West Bank. Also brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealer, Project Filter, and Valley-wide Cooperative. And tonight, our Power Booster sponsors, the College of Western Idaho, Hoffman Auto Body, Best Western Plus, Overhead Door, Big Eye Insurance Company, and Donut Jacob Pacific Residential Mortgage. And our webcast sponsor tonight, Bob's Bicycles. Hi, everybody. Well, 5A SIC football, high school football, coming to IdahoSports.com on a Thursday night, beautiful Thursday night in downtown Boise. We've got the Capital Eagles against the Nampa Bulldogs. Wayne DeZuback, Logan Green with you. And are you ready for the season to begin there, Mr. Green?
I am. I was a little jealous last week watching that game. Century played Minico, and I started to get the itch. And when the opportunity came to do this game, of course I was going to jump on it. You know, you want to get that first one in.
Well, I'll tell you what, could be a good one. And these are the two teams that I picked during my podcast as the dark horses in 4A and 5A. You know, last year they came really close. They both made the quarterfinals of the playoffs. It was Nampa losing in the quarterfinals to Skyline 42-21. And in the quarterfinals, Capital lost to Mountain View 21-14. So they both made the playoffs. Capital 4-2, Nampa 6-3. They were right there, but didn't quite have enough to get it over the hump. this could be their year. They are dark horses in these 5A and 4A classifications.
Yeah, and you hear a lot of the grumblings being about Capital this year. Almost everything I've read is, they did well in their summer tournaments. They won that 7-on-7 tournament, and I think the winner of that the last couple of years ended up going on deep playoff runs. So you got to like it. If you like that sort of data, you got to like it if you're a Capital fan.
Well, you got Max Clark back at quarterback for the Eagles, and last year in the third game of the season, he hurt a collarbone. He was out for the rest of the year, so they had to go with somebody else. But get this, in those 2.5 games that he played, he tossed for 602 yards, 9 touchdowns in just 3 games. That's pretty impressive.
That's not bad for a COVID cut 3-game season, right?
Exactly. And a collarbone cut 3-game season.
There you go.
No question about it. But he's got a great wide receiver in Cody Walk. Right now, Big Sky, there's about 4 Big Sky teams looking at him, a bunch of other teams looking at Cody Walk. He's a big guy, like 6'5". Wears number 18. You hear a lot about him here tonight. And again, just a reminder, this is audio only tonight. The 5A SIC, we've got a 15-game schedule for you. We'll be at Mountain View tomorrow night. Mountain View taking on Meridian, which should be a great game, but audio only. But you know what? It is like radio on the internet.
That's
having a lot of fun.
You can listen to it anywhere. That's the benefit, right?
Yeah.
And you put it up on your phone, computer, tablet, whatever you want, and anybody can listen anywhere.
I think the bottom line is we got it going for you, and that's the key. We're going to have it here for you tonight from Donald Larson Park. That's where we are, down here in downtown Boise. And guess what? I can actually see the towers on Bogus Base with my naked eye. You remember the smoke was so bad 2 days ago you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, nice little – it's get a little windy right now, but wind coming through, pushing all that smoke out. It's almost like the weather gods appreciated the opening – week of football, no smoke cancellations like we saw a lot last year, and we're ready to rock and roll as Capital is about to kick it off.
Yeah, we really are. Capital is going to kick off. Their kicker is Jackson Berg. He will kick it off. He's got it teed up at the 40-yard line. They're in their dark uniforms, kind of light numbers. They kick it off. Takes a big bounce at about the 15-yard line. Handled there by Dante Abjin. Abjin cuts it back outside to the 10, 15 down the sidelines and out of bounds in front of a whole bunch. Well, actually, he made it all the way out to the 30-yard line. How about that?
Yeah, he turned nothing into something. A great return after that ball bounced around the 2-yard line.
Yeah, it was a real line drive, low kick, and it took a crazy hop like footballs are wont to do, and it bounced around like you said. He picked it up, and I didn't think he was going to get very far with it, but he got it all the way out to the 30-yard line, and that is where this Nampa team will take over. And a quarterback, let's see who's going to be playing quarterback. Ryan Schuler was the running back last year. He's in there as running back, and it's going to be Gabe Navarro to start this game. He and Peyton Gunner were kind of going after it during the spring. Handed off on the left side. That's Avante. Avante hurdles over one runner across the 40, out to the 45, maybe the 47, 48-yard line. What a great run.
And just fantastic blocking on the far side of the field. He had a wall in front of him, and he went almost just straight towards the sideline to get around that, makes the hook around the numbers, and picks up a first down.
All the way out to the 48-yard line. 18-yard gain on the first time they hand the ball off to him. So we're just trying to get all the players figured out because, the coaches tell us a lot about the team, but we don't know exactly Schuler on the inside handoff, but that play will be brought back. We had illegal procedure going on there.
That's so 2 great plays for Nampa to start it off, fighting through the first contact. Both plays on the kickoff return and that run, contact was made early, and either the returner or the running back in the second play was able to fight through it and pick up great yardage.
Well, right now the ball's going to be brought back to the 43-yard line, where it'll be first down and 15. 43, Nampa their own 43. They're in their white uniforms, red numerals. Schuler up the middle, bounces it outside, gets across and gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then some, and he crosses into Capital territory to the 49-yard line, pickup of about 8 or 9 yards.
I think they wanted the penalty so the running back could get more yards. I think that's what Nampa's play was there. Another big pickup on first down. It'll be, second and about 6 on this play.
Yep, and that was Schuler again. Schuler, all-conference running back a year ago. Quarterback keeper, left side. It's going to bring up a third down. Only gets about a couple of yards, does Gabe Navarro.
Of course, Nampa last year, like you mentioned, made it the quarterfinals, had that great finish against Middleton, a 45-yard field goal as time expired to win that game for the Bulldogs in their first season after replacing star quarterback Donovan Estrada, and they do a great job making it the quarterfinals.
Well, let's see what they've got now from Estrada to Navarro. And a lot of times people thought Nampa did too much on Estrada last year. They handed off to Schuler up the middle. He's caught right at the line of scrimmage. He's going to bring up a 4th down. What a nice defensive play by the Capital Eagles there. Looks like number 30 got him, and that would be Javante Reyes.
Yeah, Reyes the first one. 2 different Eagles back there, but he was the one that wrapped him up, the senior. Big stop on 3rd down.
And we'll give him a new name. It's going to be Jonathan. I just kind of said something, but it's Jonathan Reyes. So it's going to bring up a 4th down after a couple of nice plays by the Bulldogs. They're going to be back. And let's see, they're not in a punt, but they're not going to go. They're going to go for it. They throw underneath the coverage, and that's Schuler, who may have reached for the 1st down. It depends where they mark it. I thought they were going to kind of quick punt it. They didn't. They went to Schuler, and he got just enough for the 1st down, Logan.
Yeah, it came a short pass over here to the near side right in front of us. Caught it about 3 or 4 yards short of the 1st down and gets just enough. I mean, maybe half a yard in front of that pylon and picks up the 1st down.
Well, Schuler is a 6-footer. He's 175 pounds, like I just mentioned a moment ago. First team all SIC last year in 4A. And what a nice play right there. And I guess Nampa saying, you know what? We got to keep the ball if we're going to beat this Capital Eagle team. Little run to the left, not much there. Dante Abjian. He actually loses about a yard. Nice defense by the Capital Eagles.
Yeah, it was Will Kovac who came in. He came in untouched and knocked it, just laid a nice hit on him there, bringing him down.
So 2nd down and 11 in Capital territory at about the 43-yard line. Shotgun formation is Navarro. As Schuler to his right, back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Steps up, and he's going to be sacked all the way back at the 49-yard line. And getting him back there, it looks like that was big number 70, Josh Summers, all SIC a year ago, and he's picking up where he left off.
Yeah, didn't skip a step right there, just wraps him up, and this is going to bring up 3rd and long. And this is about 3rd and, I want to say,
it's close to 3rd and 20.
15, 16, yeah. More than 15. So
yeah, 17 yards.
Hey, they went for it once. What's in their mind? Maybe, hey, let's just chip away at this and make it another 4th and manageable.
And we got a flag on the play. Little pass out to the left-hand side. And let's see what happens there. Not much of a gain. Maybe a 2-yard gain on a little pass out into the flat. Completed there to Trias Higgins, but let's see what the flag is.
No indication. I think it's on Nampa.
Still no indication.
It was a legal formation on Nampa. Capital will decline, makes it 4th and 15.
Well, I'll tell you what, last time they didn't quite have 4th and 15, so I think they'll kick it away. Maybe not. I don't know. We haven't seen them. We really don't know Dan Holtry's mindset, but now here comes the punting team.
And, these games mean a lot more in the past with the way the playoffs were set up. You just need to do well in your conference. Do well in your conference and you get in, but now with the max prep rankings coming into play and also helping with the seeding, it's a big game for both of these teams to beat another great team from another level.
Almost blocked. Gunner's kick is going to go out of bounds on the left side. It almost looked like Capital was offside.
I thought they were.
Yeah, and I was waiting for a flag. It never came. And Napa's kind of looking at that, too. They're looking at the officials going, I think they left a little bit early. But nonetheless, no call.
You see a couple of widespread arms in the Did y'all see what I just saw? Did you miss it? Or
here's the big problem. Had they blocked it, that would have been a real tussle right there. But they didn't. The ball goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That's where Capital will start. And Max Clark will bring his offense out there. And, again, he's got a couple of big targets. And Cody Walk, number 18, loves to go to him. And don't forget Nate Cherry, who is back to receive that punt. He is something else. He was first-team All-SIC last year, as was Walk. First-team All-SIC players out in the backfield. Back to pass underneath the coverage. They got Cherry. Cherry at the 32-yard line. That's all he gets. Brought down there quickly by Brent Sund. And we got a flag down right at the impact where Sund tackled Cherry. We have a flag there. Let's see what happened.
A nice job to fight through the block. He was blocked pretty well, and he gets through it, and it looks like it's going to go against Capital. I think it is a hold.
Yeah, so they're holding Sun. He still got the Cherry to make the tackle, but at the time he had a defender or an offensive lineman holding him, so it backs him all the way up to the 22-yard line.
I mean, he still brought him down. He fought through the hold, and he gets rewarded for it.
First down and 19. Capital, Max Clark at quarterback all by himself in the backfield. Looks right, now looks over the middle, throws it underneath the coverage. Nate Cherry makes a couple of quick moves across the 30, out to the 35-yard line.
He's just wide open right there in the middle of the field.
So with the penalty, they actually made 3 yards. You know, they backed it up 15, made 3, so a gain of 18. Bring down second down and about 5. At the 35. Hand it off. Wide open up the left side. Nice run there by number 23. That's Jacob Olson. Jacob Olson gets a first down and then some out to the 44-yard line.
I tell you, the unsung hero of that play, Michael Sevilla, for Capital, he just drove his defender about 15 yards downfield and just opened up a huge hole here on the right side of the field.
So right now, Capital overcoming a 15-yard holding penalty. Clark back to the right, throws over the middle, and incomplete. Pass was intended there for Caden Mistretti, and he was guarded very, very closely. I think some of the Capital players were kind of looking for a pass interference call against Dante Abjian, but it wasn't there.
And I like the no calling. They both were just going up for it. It's football. They weren't, no hands were pushing. They just went up for it, and both kind of made contact with each other.
Yeah, Abjian very aggressive, going straight up for that ball. Clark back to pass. Little screen pass on the left side. Olsen has it. Little jitter juke there at the 45 out to about the 48-yard line. Nice job by Jacob Olsen. He's a senior running back.
Daniel Almaraz was the one on the tackle for Nampa, and he was coming in on a blitz from the outside and saw the screen opening up before the ball was even thrown, and he backed up almost immediately. Still, gained some yardage on the play, but nice job by him to recognize it in real time before the screen was even thrown, back up and prevent a big play.
Third down about 5 from the 49-yard line. Capital's own 49 as they near midfield. Clark screen out to Olsen. Olsen bounds his way down to the 45-yard line. That's good for a first down. He needed 5, got 6, Logan. And again, Olsen, that little pass out into the flat, working perfectly.
I mean, it's picking up 4 or 5 yards, and if you can do that consistently, do you need to do more? You just pick it up slowly. You don't need it all at one time.
You mentioned right now that this Capital team won the 7-on-7 famous Out of Potato Bowl tournament. And up the middle, Olsen, nothing much there, maybe about a yard. And you can see where Max Clark is very comfortable getting things done. We told you he passed for over 600 yards in 2.5 games last year and 9 touchdowns before a collarbone injury took him out for the rest of the year.
And you just see him back there playing quarter. I mean, he doesn't seem rushed. He doesn't look frazzled in there. He's just like, hey, I'm back here. I just need to throw this ball. Just no pressure at all, it looks like, from him.
Nate Cherry in motion going to his right. Looks, they throw back to the left. Pass intended there, incomplete for Josh Garcia. Pretty good coverage right there. Parker Magnuson was all over the place. He's 5'10", 210.
And he got, I think he might have gotten held or blocked. He was asking for something, and he got walloped. I think it was just a big hit, but he was in on it right there, and it'll bring up 3rd and long, like you said.
Yeah, 3rd and 9. Big play for both sides. Capital wants to keep it going. Nampa wants to keep him in 3rd and long. Here comes the pressure. Clark throwing over the middle. It's complete, but tackled immediately there. A gain of about a yard. So it's going to bring up 4th down and maybe, let's call it 7, and that's being generous.
And that was Ethan Kinchlow, who stayed home. That's a great Idaho football name, of course.
Yeah, Homedale, yeah.
They got to be related, you'd think. But
well, I don't see it spelled the same way. Kinchlow spelled the exact same way.
It got to be. But it's a great open field, one-on-one. If he doesn't bring him down, it's a first down. If he doesn't do it, he's gone.
So with the ball sitting right there at the 42-yard line, Clark back to pass, looks left, throws long, overthrows his intended receiver, Nate Cherry. Well covered there again by Abjian. Done a good job on offense and defense so far in this ball game. That'll turn it over on downs, and Nampa will take over at their own 42-yard line. Here, 5:28 to go in the first period. No score yet. Wayne DeZubak, Logan Green with you here. We're kind of getting used to doing football.
Yeah, I think a lot of times early in the season you see the players trying to get used to it and a little sloppy play, but I don't think I've seen any sloppiness out of either team. Both teams very disciplined. Offense is gelling. Defense playing great. Looks like they're in mid-season form only 7 minutes into the season.
Yep. Well, you say that, and then a flag comes down and stops the play, so it's got to be a procedure against Nampa. That'll back it up 5 yards back to the 38, where it'll be first down and 15. But again, the Bulldogs 6-3 last year. They are in the quarterfinals. Their only state title game was in 1984. They thought they could do it last year, but they ran into Skyline, who ultimately won the 4A championship.
Well, everybody ran into Skyline,
yeah,
right?
Skyline.
It's,
so you don't mess with Grizzlies.
That's right. I think they lost one game to Rigby, but again, who doesn't? Everybody runs into Rigby too. Just a tough way to end the season against Skyline.
Navarro, play action fake over the middle, has a man wide open down the sideline, caught. Is he in bounds? Yes, he is. Great catch there by Travis Higgins. Inbounds for Nampa. Big gain all the way down to the 28-yard line of Capital.
If that ball is just a little more inside the field, he's gone. He beat his man, was wide open. The throw was right on point, but it was a little towards the sideline. He had to jump and catch it and go out of bounds with it.
So Higgins with a great catch, looking back into the sun, no less. Man in motion. Handed off that man in motion. Abjian pulled down. Good defensive play by Capital. Man, I tell you what, they got right there, didn't they? Great job by Mason Millar. Obviously, Mom's sitting right next to us. She just heard it go, way to go, Mason.
Yeah, it was. He had a lot of room to run over there, too, but wrapped him up and brought him down.
No gain, in fact. Looked like, Abjian had something to do. Right side hash mark. No score. 4:50 to go first period from Donald Larson Park. Sun-drenched field here. And Navarro nowhere to go. He went back to pass. Gabe Navarro looking, I think he didn't see what he wanted to. Then he wanted to run right up the middle. There was just nothing there. That Capital defense shut it down.
Yeah, the pocket just collapsed. It went nowhere. And like you said, I like when quarterbacks step up in the pocket like that. Instead of immediately having the instinct to run outside, he stepped up, but there was just nothing there. Like you said, looking for a run up the middle, but Capital defense just swarmed.
All right, Schuler, the running back, to the right of Navarro. Two receivers to the right, two to the left. Spread out, back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Quickly, they get it out into the flat. It's caught by Higgins. Higgins, couple of moves. He's got a field. He's got a first down to the 15, down to the 14-yard line. He goes out of bounds. Travis Higgins, a 6-foot, 170-pound senior.
And what a play. Just a screen pass. Caught about a yard downfield, not far, and then he did it all with his legs, getting past two different defenders and getting a key block on the outside by Daniluk.
Schuler up the middle on a quick handoff. Quick count. Schuler dancing around the middle, and he's going to be brought down. But you know what was interesting? That Capital brought everybody on the play before, Logan,
right.
And that opened Higgins wide up on the left side. Once he caught it, he only had one or two defenders to juke, and he did that and got it deep all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Sometimes you just need space and room to run, and you can get past those defenders. You did a great job right there.
High snap. Navarro going to keep it to the right. He's at the 5-yard line. Flag goes down right where he's tackled. Navarro brought down by Jack Murphy at the 5, and let's see what the flag is.
I think it's a hold. It came out right before he got tackled, and it is.
Yeah, holding against Nampa. Boy, that's tough right there because if you're the Bulldogs, you've got it. You're playing on the road to start the season. You're playing a 5A team. You're a 4A team. You feel like you can play with them. You've got something going. You've had a couple of big plays. You're down to the 5-yard line. You think penalty, all of a sudden you're backed all the way out to the 17.
Yeah, luckily for them, it's only second down. They have a couple more tries, but that would have made it about 3rd and 1 or 2 from inside the 5.
Navarro all by himself in the backfield. Hard count, draws the defense offside. That'll pick up a free 5 for Nampa.
So they go back 10, pick up 5.
That'll bring it down to the 13-yard line. So now it's second down and 10. So here we go. Wide to the right. Goes one receiver. Now they put another one in the slot to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Navarro looks that way, throws over the middle and overthrows everybody. And then we have a flag in the middle. It looks like Ty Fricky may have been tripped up in the end zone as that ball went over his head. Question is, Logan, was it catchable?
You know, it's tough to say. It's hard to know if it was because he wasn't up. I would like to have seen the play without him falling down, and I think that the contact, you could say it was incidental. We'll see how they rule on it.
They're going to bring it back. Let's see what they're doing here. Okay, they bring it back to mark it off. It's going to be an automatic first down, I do believe. Actually, it's not an automatic first down. I'm still remembering all the high school rules, but it's going to move it all the way down to right to the 6-yard line, where it's going to be second down and about 4. So they've got to get to the 2 for a first down, but that was pass interference in the end zone. You know, and I like the fact that they don't put it right at the 2-yard line or the 3-yard line like they do in other.
I agree. Yeah, just move it up the distance it should have been.
Hand up the Schuler up the middle, little draw up the middle, and he's going to dance his way in. Schuler with a great job, and just like that, the Nampa Bulldogs have put together a nice drive. They stopped Capital on 4 downs, took the ball to their own 42, and drove all the way down 58 yards for a touchdown. 6-0 Bulldogs with 2:49 to go here in the first period from Donald Larson Park, downtown Boise on IdahoSports.com.
It was a great move. There was a couple different directions he could have gone with it, and he was patient. He even almost completely stopped at one point, went the other way, and walks his way into the end zone.
So a 58-yard drive, extra point attempt coming up. It's fumbled, and it's going to be knocked down, and everything doesn't go well. And when your holder doesn't catch the ball, the kicker is up for grabs, and that's pretty much what happened.
Sure, I saw something online that talking about the unsung heroes of football is in a play like that, or a missed field goal, the kicker gets all the heat, but you never hear about the holder. They have a lot of pressure, a lot to do there during a game, and you don't hear about him much, but you heard about him right there when he got nailed.
Hey, I want to thank one of our great webcasters. He's going to be with us all year long. Bob's Bicycles on Fairview and Boise. Family owned since 1979, and their selection of mountain bikes, road bikes, BMX, cruisers, and comfort bikes second to none. Whether online at bobs-bicycles.com or on that showroom floor, Bob's Bicycles, they'll have the bike, the accessory, the clothing to fit your needs, and they've got in-store financing, 6 months, no interest. So stop in, say hi to Vern. Bob's Bicycles, serving Idaho for more than 40 years and proud to support Idaho student-athletes. And, in fact, Vern Ward, Nancy, his wife, the family, just real excited to be a webcast sponsor. They're going to be with us for all 15 regular season 5A SIC games.
It's a great deal, and if you've never been down there, I actually bought 2 bikes from them this year. We had a small issue with one. It wasn't their fault. Brought it in, and they fixed it right in front of me. I didn't even have to leave it there. They did it immediately, and we're out the door in about 15 minutes. So, again, Bob's Bicycles in Boise.
All right, Nampa will kick it off. Here we go. And we got a whistle, so that's going to bring that kickoff back. Let's see. Maybe have offside. The way they do that, it had to be offside, illegal procedure. It's going to take it illegal procedure, so take it 5 yards back to the 35-yard line. So anyway, you look at it, it looks like Capital is going to get some pretty good field position here. It
was a good kick, though. Lance Hanna dropped that thing. It flew high in the air, kind of hung up there, and landed at the 2. He's got himself a leg. He's the one that nailed that final field goal against Middleton, about a 45-yarder to win that one in the playoffs. On the road, in the wind, no less.
Yep. Got to remember right now that Capital Eagle players are looking right into that setting sun. So this field goes east to west, and they are looking west right into the sun. Taken there by Avery Downey at about the 8-yard line. 15, 20, 25, 30, down the sideline, 35, and knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Avery Downey, great return after taking that ball inside the 10.
Yeah, great kick. It had a lot of hang time. Didn't give the kicking team at Nampa as much time as I thought to get back there. They really shut them down, and big return up to the 39.
You know, that we haven't had a lot of time to talk about it. The Nampa Bulldogs have a couple of all SIC defensive players, and Isaiah Gafford and Ethan Kinchlow. You've already mentioned Kinchlow, but he was all SIC last year, and obviously we've already mentioned his name because he's an active type of guy.
Yeah, just this Nampa defense did well on that last drive. Did a great job shutting down some high-powered offenses last year in the 4A SIC.
So a man in motion. Clark hands off to Olson. Jacob Olson, right side. Going to get about 3 yards. He's going to be brought down by about 4 white jerseys. Again, Capital black uniforms, kind of goldish numbers. Nampa with their white uniforms, red numerals.
Yeah, Cody Rowley was the first one on the tackle there. Had him around the leg and just wouldn't let go for Nampa.
6-0. Bulldogs lead it. Nice 58-yard drive, capped off by a 6-yard run by Schuler. Clark rolls to his left, takes the snap, throws a little bit short. Did he catch it? He did. Nope. One official said yeah, the other official said
That's why you got 2, right?
Yep.
The side judge, he couldn't see it. The player's back was to him. The one in the back could see it clear as day.
Yeah.
Comes up and makes the right call.
Avery Downey kind of coming back to the ball, took a dive for it, and that's why we couldn't tell from right here. Plus, did it right in front of the whole bench of Capital players who were standing up. So here we got the 3rd down and 7. Oh, Nampa almost jumped offsides. They do. Offside against the Nampa Bulldogs. That's going to make it 3rd and a much easier, about 3 yards.
They've been able to successfully get 3 or 4 when they want it. So you got to be very happy with this. I would look for a short pass on the outside, just maybe even a comeback route or a short little pass into the flat and pick up 5 or 6 for it.
Yeah, ball out at the 47-yard line, so they're still in their own territory, Capital is, but who knows? If they don't make it this time, they'll go for it, I bet you. And a little fake inside, a little shuffle pass inside. They're going to get the 1st down inside. Nice play there to Cody Walk. First time we've called his name tonight as he came in from the tight end spot. Little shuffle pass to him. Got it across midfield down to the 47-yard line. It looks like 48-yard line.
Yeah, great play call. A lot of moving. Fake handoff to the running back there. And then, like you said, coming around from the tight end position, that shuffle pass inside.
Pretty kind of cool play for early in the season. Pass out in the flat, and it's complete, and another 1st down. Pickup of about 12 yards. Let's see who that was to. Was that Walk again?
That was.
Yep, it was. Cody Walk. Cody split out to the right side. Ball going to be marked at the 36-yard line. And again, little handoff. Dipsy doodle, look out. Olson's got some running room, cuts it back down to the 10-yard line. Now, I'll tell you what, Brody Call was the running back that time.
And Avery Downey, the wide receiver here on the near side, just a great block that sprung it for that extra 15 yards at the end of the run.
So they had Brody Call in there for the first time at a running back, and he wears number 28. We're getting used to these guys. Whole new team, whole new offense. Handoff up the middle, pounding there by Jacob Olson. So Jacob Olson had been the guy, and then they had Call in there for a play. So good job here by Todd Simmons. You know, we haven't talked about Coach Simmons. He's in his 18th year. Official timeout on the field. Equipment change. Ball inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. 2nd down and goal for Capital. Trailing this one 6-0. The difference, a missed extra point. Send a man in motion. And then a little pass up the middle. Right down to the goal line. I think he's going to be just about a foot short. And Cody Walk again. This time they went left to right. Last time they went right to left on that little shuttle pass.
Yeah, 2 shovel passes in the same drive. Don't see that very often.
Nope. So now you've got 3rd down and goal from about the 1-yard line is where they marked it down. Olson's the running back. Clark sends Cherry in motion. And he's going to pass. Throws into the end zone. Touchdown. Complete. He gets it to Cody Walk. And Cody Walker, 1 yard. You would have thought with 2 downs, they might just kind of bounce it up the middle, but they didn't. And with 1:19 to go, 19 seconds to go. Here in the first period, they tie it up. Extra point attempt coming up.
Sometimes you see those extra points that are missed always come back to haunt people.
They do. Here we go. Jackson Berg will try the extra point. This time the holder holds it. Up and good. 7-0. So 7-6 rather, excuse me. So the difference in this ball game, the Nampa holder just couldn't quite hang on to that ball, and they could not get the extra point. Capital does it. They get her done. So do we want a commercial here?
Yeah, we can do that. We'll just take a quick break here on IdahoSports.com.
Banking. Maybe you enjoy the person-to-person attention you get going to your bank. Maybe you enjoy the convenience of banking from home sweet home. Or maybe you like the flexibility of paying your bills, applying for a loan, or talking to your personal banking person from wherever fits your fancy. Then definitely, you should bank at Mountain West Bank. Member FDIC. The easy, convenient, any way you want to bank.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Wayne DeZuback, Logan Green with you. Donald Larson Park, beautiful Thursday evening. I keep forgetting. Keep thinking it's Friday night football. It's not. It's Thursday night. We're here. We got another game tomorrow night. We'll be at Mountain View High School. Meridian and Mountain View going at it tomorrow night. And right here we got a good one, 7-6. Capital leads Nampa. 19 seconds to go in the first period. Jackson Berg getting ready to kick it off.
Both teams' offenses have looked comfortable. Both teams' defenses have looked good. It's been a great first quarter of football so far.
So Daniel Carrillo and Abjin back there. This one's going to take another hop right at the 12-yard line. This time Dante Abjin takes it, and he gets it across the 20 to about the 22-yard line.
That was a big one-on-one stop on the outside by Capital.
Well, let's see how Nampa responds to that nice drive by the Capital Eagles. All righty, first down for Nampa. They've got the ball at their own 22-yard line. 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. New running back this time, Daniel Carrillo in there. Carrillo had a great game against Middleton in a playoff game. You had mentioned that they won that one with a long field goal, but Carrillo had 204 yards rushing in that game. And that's going to do it for the first period, so we'll take a break, and we'll come back after one here at Donald Larson Park. The Capital Eagles 7, Nampa Bulldogs 6, right here on IdahoSports.com.
Ads like this keep popping up. But I see through the hype, because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
Well, the first quarter of our first game of our season here in 2021 is in the books, and a pretty good one. Capital leading Nampa 7-6. Wayne DeZuback, Logan Green with you here on IdahoSports.com.
And, we're early. This is like the third or fourth game of in the state this season. Last weekend, all the games were one-score games, and the way this one's shaping up, it looks to be no different.
Well, new quarterback in there as well, Peyton Gunter this time. So they are both fighting it out, and a handoff up the middle, nothing there. Capital just actually a loss of about a yard. No chance at all for Daniel Carrillo. But, Gunter and Navarro were kind of battling it out for the quarterback spot all fall. And I guess Dan Holtree isn't sure exactly who should be there.
Yeah, you got to work these things out. I didn't think he looked particularly bad. Just
no, I thought Navarro did a good job when he was in there.
He did. He had that great long pass down the field that set up the touchdown. Maybe just that was part of the plan. They'll each play a alternating quarters and see how it goes.
Well, Peyton Gunter in there now, rolls to his left, looking downfield, throws on the run, little short on the run, incomplete. Nice diving attempt there by Trias Higgins for Nampa, but couldn't quite get there. That's going to bring up 4th down and 9.
Really, the only glaring difference I see in these two is the height difference. Gunter about a whole 6 inches taller than him, and it's pretty clear out there that he's, I think he's the tallest one on this roster. He is 6'4" quarterback back there. Definitely the tallest one for the Bulldogs.
He's also going to punt it away right now, so that's a nice thing when you've got, somebody that can do that. Nice high kick. Going to be taken there by Nate Cherry. Did not call for a fair catch, and he's met immediately by Higgins. And Higgins almost dislodged the ball because Cherry did not call a fair catch.
And the officials were very generous as there was a Capital Eagle sprinting off the field to get off to make sure they had 11 players. And he was not off when that ball was snapped. And, sometimes it's better just let that thing go. It didn't affect the play, and they did. They just let it go. Like you said, just a huge tackle. If it was me, I probably would have called for a fair catch right there. A little nervous with those footsteps I'd be hearing.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm so nervous about catching a punt when I did that a couple of times. The guy kicks it, I call for a fair catch. It goes off his foot, and I'm like, fair catch, fair catch.
And they're like, it was blocked, Wayne.
Oh, okay. Well, same. Forget it then. Do over. All right. Clark back to pass, steps up, looks over the middle, throws deep, has a man open, it's complete to Avery Downey. Downey at the 20. He's going to the sidelines, to the 15, and raced out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. What a big pass over the middle from Max Clark to Avery Downey.
Yeah, Downey just had his own little pocket that he was in the middle of the field, walked right into that pass, and beautiful pass and catch.
And you can see why Capital won that 7-on-7. Boy, I tell you what, he hit Downey in stride, and he did so while stepping up, Logan. Clark was stepping up into the pocket to throw that pass. So 1st down and 10 from the 11-yard line is where they say he went out of bounds. Handoff. Wow, not much there at all. A nice hard tackle on Jacob Olson. And we got whistles, flags. Holding's going to be called against Capital. That'll back it up quite a bit. It is so good to see the mountains. I mean,
it is.
There's been so many days this summer that they have been shrouded in smoke.
It seems like it came earlier this year than it has in the past. It was the first week of July we had it, and it's just been here ever since, and I'm sick of it.
It happens every year, though.
It does.
Every year there's a couple of 3 weeks where it's just bad.
It's not 2 months of it,
No, I know. All right, here we go. 1st down and long. 1st down and about 20, we'll say. Clark back to pass, looking for the screen setup. Can't find it, now finds it. Gets it down to Cherry, and Cherry gets himself out of bounds at about the 15-yard line.
He laid a nice stiff arm around the 15, right in the crown of the helmet, and just said, sit down.
Yeah.
Just pushed Carrillo down.
That was the strangest screen I've ever seen because Max Clark never had any pressure. Usually you let the defense come in on you, the quarterback, and there was no pressure, and he just waited, and then he just found Cherry open and got to him. So picked up about half of the penalty. You're going to have it at the 15. It'll be 2nd down and about 15 to go. Clark back to pass again, looking over the middle, throws to Cherry, touchdown. Wide open in between defenders, and somebody missed a beat that time. And Nate Cherry takes it, a 15-yard touchdown reception, and Capital extends this lead to 13-6.
And really, you look at that play, and Downey could have caught it too. They were both kind of right there beside each other, and Downey says, you know what, Nate, you take that one, and he just walks in for the touchdown.
Extra point attempt coming up for Capital. Kick is up. And it's good. So 14-6 now in favor of Capital with 10:25 to go here in the first half. pretty good-looking drive.
Yeah, and it's nice to hear the band. We hear the band right now, and it seemed like that was missing last year. A lot of bands were missing, but we'll just take a quick break while we get ready for the kickoff here on IdahoSports.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Hey, welcome back on a Thursday night. Really glad to have you with us here on IdahoSports.com. Wayne DeZubak, Logan Green, and we're at Donald Larson Park, downtown Boise. Boy, I tell you what, the traffic getting here was absolutely ridiculous.
It was. It's funny because I live in Middleton. Mm-hmm. You live in Eagle.
Yeah.
But, I'm working from home right now, but my office is about 3 blocks that way. If I had worked in the office today, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
It would have been, yeah.
I would have walked over here.
Sweet.
But instead, I had to fight the 5 o'clock traffic over here.
Well, I guess there was an accident, too, at Eagle and 44, so, man.
When is it not hard to get through that intersection,
It's getting worse and worse, and they keep working on it. But at any rate, that's our problem, not yours. Here we go, kickoff. Abjian takes it 1 foot in the end zone, so that's going to automatically be brought back to the 20-yard line.
I think that's good for him. He had space, but it was collapsing on him. I don't think he would have made it past the 15, 17-yard line.
Yep, so get it. Nampa does at the 20-yard line, and we'll see what they do. Do they go back right now to Gabe Navarro? They had him at quarterback. He led that nice drive, 58-yard drive. Schuler scoring the touchdown to make it 6-0 at the time. And then they kind of switched it over and decided to put Peyton Gunter in there. Did they give Gunter another try at it? And nope, looks like Navarro's back in there.
This is the worst starting field position for either team so far tonight, the 20-yard line.
So Gabe Navarro back in at quarterback, drops back, passes, lets it fly over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Ty Fricky. And, boy, I tell you what, a better pass could have got it there, and that could have been a TD. That was close.
He did. He had a step on the defender around the 50-yard line. That one dropped, and like you said, a little bit better ball, and he's probably gone for 6.
The ball was actually well thrown. It just had to be perfectly thrown to get it there.
Was a great throw. Maybe another arm's length away from him. It was right there. Just get some bigger arms next time, right?
All right, here we go. 2nd down and 10. Right at the 20-yard line. Nampa down 14-6 here. Second period. Hand it off. Little spin move there by Abjian. And maybe a gain of 2 out to the 22-yard line is all. So it'll be 3rd down and 8.
Tell you, Will Kovac for Capital was coming in hot on that, and he spun at the right time, did Abjian, and just gets away from it and picks up something instead of losing a yard.
Yeah, 5'7", 160-pounder Abjian had a spin move there, but now it's going to be up to really Navarro to see what he can do. He's got to pass. He's rolling to his right. Looks downfield, throws on the run. Was that a great grab or what? Nope, just missed it, out of bounds. I thought it was a great grab on the sidelines. Wow, that would have been something else by Ty Fricky, but he couldn't quite pull it in.
It's a little bit out of his reach, and that's the second straight drive now, 3 and out for the Bulldogs. Looks like the Capital defense really finding a groove right now and putting it to him. I thought maybe he had a couple of defenders moving from the near side to the far going across the field that were open. But decides to go to the far outside sideline around the 40, and it just goes out of bounds.
Well, what I find interesting is that I think Nampa right now trying to find some rhythm. Last year they had a quarterback they had in every play. Every down was always there. High snap, the kick almost blocked. It's going to be high up in the air. Fair catch called by Cherry. Then he lets it fly, and it hits the ground, and Nampa will stop it. Not sure why they stopped it. It was going backwards.
Well, it was going back towards.
That's right. It was going backwards. That's right. Yeah. I'll figure this game out.
But it's been a while since we've seen football, right?
Yeah.
It's been a couple months, but that one's dropped dead there at the 50.
Yeah, right.
So another short. Capital hasn't had to go more than I think 70. They had a drive start at the 30, and but that last touchdown drive they had started at the 39, so only 61 yards to go. This one's going to start right there at the 50, so another favorable field position given to the Eagles.
So 1st and 10, as you mentioned, right smack dab from midfield. Capital up 14-6. Little pass. Gets it out in the flat. And nothing there.
Yeah, and there comes the flag. There was a block in the back on the far side by the wide receiver. I think it was Cody Walk out there.
Yeah, Nate Cherry, by the way, who caught the ball, gets up limping a little bit. He'll be okay. He's walking it off now, but he came up limping after that play.
It's a danger you run into when you throw that screen pass. Players standing around the receivers, and if you just push them the wrong way, you get a little bit of the back, you're going to get called for it.
Yes, they had block in the back that time. They had that. Iowa would decline it. They lost 2 yards. It'd be 2nd down and 12, but they're going to take it because it's a big penalty. So a huge penalty all the way back inside the 40-yard line to the 37. And now that'll be 1st down and a whole ton. I forgot it was that big of a play.
Yeah. It changes field penalty, position big time right now. Goes back. That's quite a ways back there.
Yeah, you're 23 yards away from a 1st down at the Nampa 40-yard line. Clark looks to his right, throws underneath the coverage, is complete to Walk. And Walk's brought down at about the 45-yard line. A little bit of a gain, but still a lot more to go. I got a fly attacking me.
Joe Angiano on the tackle there for Nampa. Gets him around the ankles and brings him down. He picks up about 7 or so on that play, but could have gotten a lot more if he wasn't there to wrap him up.
So 2nd down, call it 15. Well, it's exactly 15 because it's at the 45-yard line. They got to get to the 40 of Nampa. All by himself in the backfield is Max Clark over the middle. Intercepted. Picked off by big number 52, and he's going to get it all the way back to the 40-yard line. Great job there by Ethan Kinchlow. We talked about him being a first-team all-defensive player, and Kinchlow comes up with a all-conference play.
Yeah, just right in the middle. He was fading backwards and turns around at the last second, gets his arms up right in the middle and picks it off. But we got a flag after the play.
Yep, right at the 40-yard line, right where Kinchlow went down. So we'll check the laundry here as well.
Is it a personal foul for celebration or something like that? We'll find out.
Here comes the call. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Nampa. So whatever happened out there, the Bulldogs did it. They'll have the football, but instead of having it at the 40-yard line, they're going to have it all the way back at their own 45. Wow.
Yeah, big play. I mean, you get the turnover. You get the ball back, you change the momentum, but, man, going 40 yards is a lot easier than going 55.
And look at this. Guess what? They got a new quarterback change in there, Peyton Gunter. Gunter back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He's going to be sacked. And they brought the pressure from the outside. A big sack that time. And Cody Walk, who can do a lot on offense, did a lot of damage on defense, and the ball's all the way back to the 37-yard line, 38-yard line, make it.
That came around the blind side, just knocked him down from behind. He never even saw him. He didn't really look like he knew what was going. Gunter didn't look comfortable in there. Didn't look like he was aware of what was going on around him, and takes a sack.
Gunter, play action fake up the middle, quarterback keeper, out to the 45. He'll pick up the lost yardage on that sack, but now it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
I got to think the Bulldogs are in 4-down territory right now. We saw them go for it around this part of the field early in the first quarter. Look for them maybe to just pick up a couple yards, get forward progress, and make it a manageable 4th.
7:40 to go here in the first half. 14-6 in favor of Capital, and here comes Capital on the pressure, and they bring the quarterback down. Gunter, no chance at all that time, and he was brought down there by Tucker French, a junior linebacker.
And he loses 15. It's not just a small sack. That pushes you out of thinking about going for it on 4th, and they'll have to punt.
I tell you what, I think right here, Dan Holtry's got to make a decision on his quarterback, because you cannot get a rhythm going. I thought Navarro did a good job when he had the touchdown drive.
Yep.
He didn't do a bad job the second time he was in there, and Gunter seems to have struggled with decision-making.
Yeah, he seems unaware of what's going on around him not as much as Navarro does.
And a block. And picked up by Nampa, and they tried to advance the ball, but not nearly far enough to get a first down. So the punt was blocked, but a Nampa player picked it up, moved it forward, but it's still going to be Capital's ball, and they're going to be on the Nampa side of the field at the 42.
It was Gunner who picked it up, the punter, so it gets blocked, and it bounces in this turf right back up to him. Great awareness on that play to just run it. He picks up 15, so makes a block punt into a 5-yard, 10-yard punt. At least get something out of it.
Yeah. So a marker right at the 43 officially, first down and 10 for Capital.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. A block punt that the punter picks up and picks up positive yards.
Boy, if they had needed like 5 yards, he would have had a first down. So Max Clark in the shotgun. Hands it off up the middle. Not much there. Down to about the 40-yard line goes Jacob Olson. But it's still a gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8. Clock running, 6.5 to go here in the first half. Clark again in the shotgun. Back to pass, looking to his right, throws it over the middle to Cody Walk. Walk is stopped just short of a first down at the 35-yard line. It'll bring up third and about a yard and a half.
Walk's been doing it all over the place. Had a couple great defensive plays on last drive and gets a big catch on here on this one.
So big third down play, send a man in motion, hand it off up the middle to Olson. Olson's going to get the first down. And right now, Logan, you can see the difference in this Capital game, Nampa game. Capital's got Max Clark back, their quarterback from a year ago. They kind of got a good feel for it. They know what to do. They feel comfortable with him. Meanwhile, Coach Holtree's kind of running around going, do I go with Navarro? Do I go with, Gunner? What do I do?
Yeah, it's these are things you got to figure out week one if you don't have an incoming quarterback. And this is where I like teams that have that quarterback and have that line. And we've hit on it a couple times. They won that 7-on-7 tournament this summer, so they've been gelling all summer. They're already ready to go coming into this game, and it almost looks like Nampa's trying to figure it out. They're where Capital might have been 6 months ago.
Exactly. First game of the year always helps when you got your quarterback. Max Clark looking, trying to buy time. Now throws it downfield, incomplete. Trying to go to Cody Walk, and then there's a flag down right where the ball dropped by Cody Walk. Cody had never had a chance to grab it, but he may have been held.
No, I think it's on him. I think it's
on Cody.
Him? I think he pushed off on the defender back there. I think it's pass interference on the defense.
I was watching Max Clark run for his life, and I thought he was just kind of throwing it away.
I think down there.
It's interesting. They went for it on fourth down.
It is.
And they went for the pass. So let's see what we have here.
It was a pass interference on the defense. On the offense. They're going to decline it because it was fourth down, and it was fourth and an inch.
Fourth and, like if at most 6 inches. And, the bottom line is they try to go for the big touchdown pass. Not sure, just pound it up the middle. Go for it. They haven't run Clark much. Maybe they're worried about his collarbone, but they say it's healed. So that's going to turn the ball over, but we've got a timeout on the field. 14-6 with 5.5 to go here in the first half from Donald Larson Park as the sun now begins to set a little bit. Still kind of shining its shadows across the field, but what a beautiful night for football.
Yeah, great night, great weather. Couldn't ask for a better weekend for the opening week of football.
Now, don't you got a game tomorrow night?
I do. I'll be at Middleton. They're welcoming in Elko from Nevada.
Yeah.
And then I'll be at Middleton again on Saturday for the 8-man classic. There are 4 games all day.
Wow.
Four different 4 games between 1A schools, and this is. You've got teams playing from the north against teams from the east and the south, all meeting in Middleton. So there's a couple of great matchups that'll be there, like you'll see Oakley, Lapway, Clearwater Valley. Just a lot of great teams coming to Middleton for that one if you're a fan of the 8-man game. A lot of offense that'll be in that tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here we go. Gabe Navarro back in, hands it off, and nothing doing. Boy, that Capital defense has figured out the run game, haven't they? and they just put the stops that time on Ryan Schuler.
That's been a long time since we've seen a gain on the ground of more than a yard or two for Nampa. The last couple of drives, it's just been backwards. They haven't been able to get any forward momentum. That defensive line for Capital just having their way.
Loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11. We hadn't called Ryan Schuler's name for a long time. That's the problem with the flow. When you keep changing players to see who's going to play better than the other guy, you don't give people a chance to kind of develop.
Yeah, just figure it out.
Navarro, here comes the pressure. Navarro lets it fly, complete to Schuler. Schuler right side, has some room. He's at the 45, 40, 50, and out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. 1st down. And good job by Navarro to get rid of that ball and find Schuler quickly because Capital was in his face mask.
And you talked about a screenplay earlier where the defense didn't come. I tell you, the defense came on that one, and Navarro was just stepping back and dumps it at the last second to Schuler, and a big pickup for the Bulldogs.
Well, this I think is a big drive for Nampa right now. They've got to do something. Feel good about it. Navarro, play action fake. He's going to be dumped all the way back at the 40-yard line, depending on where forward progress is. I'm not sure if that play ever had a chance, Logan.
No, he just the only word I can think of is swallowed. He just got engulfed by the defender there and driven back.
His intent was to have a play action fake to the running back at the middle and then throw it, but he never had a chance to do anything with it.
By the time he came out of that play action motion, he just got swallowed.
Yep. So a big loss all the way back to the 42 is where they mark his forward progress. It's going to be 2nd down and 19. Navarro again under pressure. Sidearms it, gets it out though, and a nice pass there to Higgins, and Higgins weaves his way back to midfield.
So they've had 2 straight successful screenplays, and you almost wonder if that's what Nampa's got to work with right now. Anytime Navarro or whoever it is back there at quarterback doesn't have any time at all. They got to get it out of their hands quickly.
Well, they're trying to work, with that pressure. Capital's got so much pressure right now. They feel a screen pass will kind of negate that pressure a little bit. 3rd down and 11 from midfield. Navarro looks over at the sideline. 3:23 to go here in the first half. Here's the snap. The throw down the sideline. Caught! What a great catch at the 32-yard line. And who was that again was Trias Higgins.
He's the smallest receiver out there. He was the smallest guy around and gets up above everybody else and brings it down. What a play, and nice job again. Navarro feeling the heat and not caving to the pressure and gets it out.
Well, this is what Navarro did on that first drive, and he got him into the end zone, and then he started going back and forth between quarterbacks. So I'm thinking Gabe Navarro is trying to win a job here. Schuler, running back, right side, has some room, cuts it down the sidelines. He could take it all the way. He does. Ryan Schuler. They could not wrangle him down, and he went down the sidelines. Touchdown. Wow.
Yeah, it was a 31-yard run, and how many times we said it earlier in the drive that Nampa just couldn't get it going on the ground, but pass. Defense, what are you expecting? Another pass, and then they run it, and just like that, Nampa a 2-point conversion away from tying this one up.
Yeah, 14-12 right now. They'll go for 2, but again, Navarro with a good job. When Navarro's in there, he seems to have a lot of different things that he can do. And they got Navarro at hey, you know what? They're setting up for an extra point, just 1. They apparently don't want to chase the 2 right now. So we'll see what they do here. The kicker is in there. That's Hannah.
And they moved.
Delay a game. Nope, procedure. So a procedure penalty against Nampa. That'll move it back 5 yards. Now you definitely got to try the extra point kick rather than a 2-point conversion. So I don't know. You don't try to chase it right now. I don't know. I've always wondered about that. The more you chase it, it seems like the more you're chasing all night.
I guess I'm more of a risk taker in that regard. I'd rather just go for it now and tie it up. But, hey, a lot of confidence in your offense and say we can get it later.
So Hannah now's got to kick it from the 15-yard line, so it'll be a 25-yard extra point. Kick is up. He's got plenty of leg. No good, though. Wow. So it's 14-12. Interesting, with 2:51 to go here in the first half, but a great drive that time by the Nampa Bulldogs. They overcame a couple of sacks, they overcame a couple of problems, and got it in the end zone. And how about Ryan Schuler? You can talk about this guy being an all-SIC player, but he's showing it tonight. He's got 2 touchdowns on the night.
Yeah, a 6-yard run in the first quarter and a 31-yard run right there. So a couple nice touchdown runs by him, but that one, the difference now is the 2 missed extra points, the one that was fumbled and the one that was missed. And like you said, he kicked the heck out of that ball. It looked, it definitely had the distance. It could have gone for another 20, 25 yards, but I guess he missed it wide left.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from our angle, but he did just miss it. If he did, he missed it by just a millifoot because there wasn't much room there. And like you say, he probably would have been about a 45-yard field goal. It would have been good had it been on target. So he had the leg. So here we go. He'll kick it off. Cherry's going to be back deep, as is Brody Call. So Call and Cherry. And that's got to help Nampa. 2:51 to go here in the first half. You're down 14-6, not feeling good about yourself, and now you're right back in this ball game. So Hannah put a foot into it at the 40-yard line, and there's that big high kick. Call looking at it at the 5-yard line, 10, 20, 25, and down about the 27-yard line as Brody Call, the sophomore wide receiver, running back, DB. Everybody's got to be multitasking on this team.
That's
that?
right. And Angiano again on the tackle. We've seen him with a couple big tackles, the senior linebacker for Nampa. So Nampa, like you said, it was a critical drive for them last time, and they hung in there. They taken a couple of shots to the chin last couple of drives by Capital. They hang in there, force a turnover, don't score, but then they hang in there the next drive, turn them over on downs and get the ball and score. So great on 2 really big plays. They had the long pass that set up and then the big run by Schuler for the touchdown.
All right, ball marked right at the 31-yard line. Jacob Olson, a running back. Max Clark, your quarterback. 2 receivers wide to the left. Now one goes in motion. They hand it off to him. That's Nate Cherry. Cherry trying to get to the outside. Stretches it as far as he can. Now cuts it against the grain out to the 35-yard line. So a lot of running for 5 yards for Nate Cherry.
Now, Isaiah Gafford for Nampa was screaming for a hold, and I think he earned it. He literally was brought down by the ankles in the backfield. He was going to wrap him up in the backfield. Somebody else tackled him by the ankles.
Should call that an offensive tackle.
I don't know what do you call a hold? I'm not sure, but he was asking for it, and I think he probably should have got it.
2nd down and 6. Actually gained of about 4. Clark back to pass, throwing deep down the middle. It should have been intercepted and was just simply dropped. Oh, my goodness gracious sakes alive. You would love to have that again if you're Carson Rich.
Carson Rich will never have an easier interception. That's the best interception chance I've seen in years. Right there. And he dropped it. He won't sleep much tonight if Capital scores on this drive.
It was one of those things where he had too much time to think about it.
It was a great throw if he was the receiver. It would have been right on the money, but hit him right in the hands and the numbers and just dropped it.
So 3rd down and call it 7. Clark again, have some pressure. Back to pass, and he's going to go out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds. That's going to be a loss all the way back to the 22-yard line. Max Clark couldn't find anybody.
And
that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, I mentioned him earlier, but Gafford, that time for Nampa, he blew up the center to get through, and that forced, that pushed Clark out to the left side here, and the defense just caught up to him, so he's not going to get any credit for anything there, but he forced him to move over to the sideline. Big stop by Nampa.
It's the 3 years in a row Nampa's been to the state playoffs. They're starting to really feel like they're a winning program, and you come in here and you think, can we play with a 5A team on their home field? And right now Nampa's saying, yeah, we can. Here comes the pressure, partially blocked, I think. At least there was enough pressure on the kicker that time that Josh Summers couldn't get off a good kick. And so with 1:55 to go here in the first half. Nampa's going to have great field position on the Capital. It looks like 47-yard line.
Yeah, the ball, that's where it went out of bounds. So they're going to start in Capital territory. So if you're Nampa, you really got to like the way this first quarter's wrapping up. 1:55 on the clock and a chance to take the lead going into the half. And I think if you offered that to Coach Holtry over there, you can go and take the lead at halftime over a 5A team. I think they take it.
Absolutely. Navarro, quick pass out of the left flat. It's complete there to Higgins. Higgins has it, and Higgins is going to go out of bounds, shy of the first down, but picks up about 7. They'll mark it at the 41. Second down and 3, a long 3. Boy, I tell you what, Navarro trying to earn this job, isn't he? Hands it off to Schuler. Schuler cuts it back up the middle. Boy, he can dance in the middle of that field and gets it close to the 35-yard line. Very close to a first down.
When I see Schuler, he's just got the body of a quarterback. He looks like a quarterback, but he moves like a running back, and we got a player down for Capital.
Yeah, I can't get a number yet. Got the Capital players in front of me.
It's 70.
Yeah, that's a big guy, Josh Summers, who was all SIC last year. He's their punter as well.
I think it's just a cramp. They got the leg up like that. It's not fun to have the cramp, but at least it's not permanent.
I'm fortunate. I've never gotten a lot of cramps, but you get them at the most inopportune times, and they drive you crazy. All of a sudden, your leg shoots out, and you're done.
I can't move.
I'm there. What's wrong?
You know, Summers obviously a tough guy playing on the line, so you know it's got to be painful if he's staying down there and not getting up immediately, because they go through a lot in the trenches there, and it hurts.
So I got a big one. You got a big one tomorrow with Elko and Middleton. I got a big one with Meridian and Mountain View. And, you know, Mountain View last year started 0-3. They do not want to do that again.
No, and they showed who they were late in the season last year, I think. Going to the semifinals and going on the road to Rigby in a blizzard.
Yeah.
And almost coming away with it, no less. They'll be ready to go this season.
I didn't have to go to Rigby last year to do any games in the blizzard. But the guys who did, I tell you, I felt bad. Was that you?
I was there in the blizzard on top. They have this little rickety shelf up there at Rigby, and, man, it was, I tell you what, it was cold, snowy. What a day that was.
Well, I was whining because I had to do Rocky Mountain a couple of games, and it was like rainy and
pouring
wet,
rain,
but it was cold, you know. But it wasn't blizzardy.
But that's almost worse. I feel like cold rain, there is nothing worse than that. Snow can be dry and fluffy.
Josh Summers kind of walked off the field, so with the cramp, handoff. Oh, we got a flag down. Handoff to Schuler, and he was going to get the first down. He only needed a foot. Third and a foot.
Has multiple false starts today for Nampa, and it killed him right there because he was going to get, like you said, the first and probably more.
So that's going to back him up, and now they got to work for this on a 3rd down and 5. But I'm telling you what, Logan, right now you're in a territory where you're going to go for it because you got 128. So you got 2 downs to make 5 yards. Ball back at the 43-yard line, 3rd down and 5. Navarro in the shotgun. Hands it off to Schuler. Schuler hit hard. Right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. That may change because you wanted to gain something on that 3rd down play.
They're going to give him a yard and a half, maybe 2.
Well, actually, look from where the yard marker is over there. They didn't give him nothing. They just have it right there at the 42-yard line. So it's still 4th down and about 5, and Nampa calls timeout to talk it over.
I think Capital called that timeout. They say we want the ball back. They see there's 1:13 on the clock here, and they use that to try and kill the time. If Nampa can't convert or they punt here, they get the ball back with time to spare, but they do only have 1 timeout left here in the second quarter. Nampa has all 3.
Well, let's see what Navarro. He's come up with a couple of big plays, and the man he's gone to is Schuler. He's also likes Higgins, number 3, as a wide receiver. So you got to look at those 2 guys for sure. The screen play has worked really well. But do you go to it again?
I selfishly want to see them go for it. I want to see it here. I think they are.
They got to.
And I do think you got to think it's either going Schuler or I'm looking for Higgins. Higgins has come up big so far. Maybe look for Higgins on the outside. We'll see what they do here.
Well, they got Schuler in there, Navarro. I know they brought Gunter in at quarterback.
So maybe they're going to run it up the middle.
Yeah, so Gunter comes in. Navarro, who led him here, now they got Gunter in there. So they think he can do something Navarro can't. 4th down and 5 from the 42-yard line. Ryan Schuler, the running back, to his right. Gunter looks over to his right, has a man in motion now. They're trying to call him offside. That's what they're trying to do. Maybe not. There's the flag.
And they now have to delay a game.
Yeah, they're going to take the 5 yards and decide that they're going to punt it.
I thought they would call a timeout right there and try and get them to jump, but call the timeout. And if they don't, and now they got to punt.
Yeah. So what they're going to do is they decided to take the 5-yard penalty because I don't know. I couldn't figure out why Gunter was in there because Navarro had done such a good job. If you're really, really going to go for it, you take the guy that's getting it done for you tonight. Gunter may be great on another night, but tonight has been Navarro getting it done. So here we go. That gave him a little punting room. Nate Cherry's going to go back, and he'll stand back at about his 15-yard line with 1:16 to go. Slow snap. Kick just does get underway. Cherry comes up, takes it on the run, doesn't call for a fair catch, has it at the 20, and that's where Capital will have it with 68 seconds to go.
That's a long way to go. They got 80 yards and 1:08 to do it.
Well, the snap from center that time was like a changeup in baseball. It was really slow.
It was.
Barely got back to the punter before he had defenders in his face.
It's another thing, the lawn snapper. You don't really hear much about them unless it's a mistake, but that thing needs to rocket out as fast as it can. Can't hold in the air or else you leave your punter in a vulnerable position.
All right, let's see what they decide to do here. Let's see if Max Clark, Todd Simmons tries to go for, a long bomb. It looks like a little prevent defense here for Nampa. They got their safety way back. There goes Clark, throws behind Cody Walk, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10, 65 seconds to play here in the first half.
And conversely, you get an incompletion here. One more, and now Nampa's looking to get the ball back, and they'll have all their timeouts to go. So, sometimes my wife hates the end of the half. I'm like, look, there's only a minute left, and then it ends up being 15, right?
It's basketball that drives me nuts. The end of a basketball game. It can go on for
That's
the last 30
true.
seconds can go on for 20 minutes. All right, Max Clark, 2nd down and 10. Man in motion. They hand it off up the middle. And that's Olsen. Not a whole lot there, but the clock will continue to run. I don't think anybody's going to stop it. And we're going to have a 2-point game at halftime, Logan. Pretty good. 14-12 is our score. Capital leads it. The difference in the ball game, Nampa's inability to get the extra points.
Yeah, I really thought Nampa would have taken a timeout, but Capital looks like they're going to snap it.
And then somebody calls something. Whistles blow.
And Nampa does call the timeout.
All right.
They burned about 15 seconds on that, letting Capital set up, but they'll take the timeout with 39 to go.
Could have been one of those arguments between coaches. Do we just want to get out of here down by 2 at halftime, or do we really want to take a chance that Max Clark is going to make one of his phenomenal plays and have something crazy happen?
And right now the defense is playing well right now. They've shut them down the last couple drives. I like the call. They must have been playing rock, paper, scissors over there. They must have gone 3 rounds, best of 3. They must have gone to 3.
No, Coach, don't call it. Yes, Coach, do call it.
So we'll see. I like the call to call the timeout. I like being aggressive right here. It's a long way for Capital to go with only 1 timeout. You might as well try to get the ball back, and we've already seen the leg from the kicker, Lance Hanna. He missed the extra point, but it could have been good from 40, 45 yards.
Yeah.
So if they can get this back and maybe get one play, even give them a chance at a 45, 50-yarder, I like the opportunity there for Nampa.
All right, let's see what they do. Here we go. 3rd down and 7. Max Clark all by himself. Throws it out in the flat. It's complete to Avery Downey. Nope, he dropped it.
And there you go. Now they have 2 timeouts with 35 to go.
Look at that.
And surely I do not think Capital goes for it here.
Well, and had they saved the 10 or 15 seconds that they, played,
There'd be 50 seconds on this clock.
Yeah, big difference now. So,
but, I think they're going to get this ball around midfield with about, I'd say, 28 seconds to go.
Well, let's see what they do here. Well, they meet a kicker, and Josh Summers, number 70, is now running out there. And instead, number 19, Connor Christie, is going to go out and kick it. So Josh Summers wasn't ready. He had his helmet off. He's the guy that was hurt. Here's the kick. End over end, taking it to 50 and down to the 43-yard line. So just like that, with 29 seconds to go, Nampa is in business. They're going to actually mark him down at the 44-yard line.
I think you're about 15 yards from a manageable, from where you're okay taking that risk, and you've got 2 timeouts. I play the sidelines. I throw the screen pass out to the side, get out of bounds, pick up 5 to 7, and do that 3 or 4 times. A lot of strategy in the last 90 seconds of this half.
Okay, Gabe Navarro at quarterback. See what they do. Looking to the right, throws out quickly to the sidelines. Fumble, and then Nampa gets it back. So a nice pass complete to Fricky. Fricky fumbled it, then fell right down on it.
Picked up about 9.
Yeah, did they call timeout? 23 seconds, the clock stopped.
Yeah, I think they did call a time. They haven't marked it off the board.
Okay, they did. I was looking at the board, and it still says 2, so they did mark it off the board. But
there we go.
Okay, so Nampa immediately called a timeout. They got 2nd down and 1, but that doesn't mean a whole lot because the ball's at the 35-yard line with 23 seconds to go.
I think they need 7 to 10 yards to feel good about where this field goal comes from with Hannah back there. Again, we mentioned it. He hit a 45-yarder as time expired against Middleton. Maybe there was a second left, but in the last 10 seconds of that playoff game on the road at Middleton, so we know he can hit the big kick. The sun is now behind us. He would be looking right into it the way he's going from right to left, but the sun is down, so it'll be a good look for him.
Okay, big play coming up here for the Bulldogs. 2nd down and 1. 23 seconds to go in the first half, down 14-12. Navarro runs up the middle. He's drawn down. They're going to have to call a timeout quickly, and then a flag flies. So they held on to their timeout because a flag came down while they figure this one out. That'll stop the clock with 16 seconds to go.
This will be big either way.
Call coming. Navarro had nowhere to go, so he ran up the middle. Face mask.
Mask.
Face mask against Capital.
So they don't have to use the timeout. They get extra yardage. I mean, it couldn't have been a better situation if you're Nampa.
Everything went Nampa's way this time. And just think, if they had taken that timeout 10 seconds earlier, man.
I think it'll start on the whistle. Is that right? So they'll want to snap it almost immediately.
Here's the snap. They hand it off to Schuler. Schuler bounces it outside, now inside. He's down to the 15, and they'll call a quick timeout with 11 seconds to go. How fast can Schuler go from the 30 to the 15? 5 seconds.
I do not think Capital was expecting a handoff up the middle right there. Caught everybody a little off guard. Now in a very manageable field goal position. I almost wonder if you do it now in case there's a bad snap and you can just fall down on it and get another try.
Well, what they got to do now is you have no timeouts left, so you're right. They've got to either go for the end zone or go for a pass on the sidelines, nothing over the middle because they won't have time to get the field goal kicker out there if it's not in the end zone. So your options are limited. Either go in the end zone because you got plenty of time. It's not like you're 7 seconds where you could stay back there for a couple seconds if you're Navarro, take your time and throw it in the end zone. And if it's incomplete, still have a chance to kick the field goal. But you cannot go over the middle. Now, watch him go over the middle.
Well, as long as it's in the end zone, right? As long as and I think you're right. I think they're going to throw it, and I like that decision to just, hey, you got a chance, might as well chuck it in there and see what happens.
So Gabe Navarro at quarterback at the 15-yard line is where Nampa is. Looking, throws it into the end zone. Touchdown. How about that? Wide open in the end zone was Ty Fricke.
Man, what a play. He just sat down right there and got it. And I tell you what, a lot of silence below us from the Capitol crowd. What a decision right there by Nampa's coaching staff to play for that ball, get it, and throw it with 11 seconds left. Heck of a drive there by Nampa, and they're going to take the lead into halftime.
How about that? Here comes Hannah, the extra point attempt. Let's see if he can give them a 5-point lead. The kick is up, and this was right down the middle. 19-14. Nampa with 6 seconds to go here in the first half. Bulldogs.
It's going to be hard to beat this half already the rest of the weekend across all the games, Wayne. This is
Yeah, pretty exciting. And you know what? And Gabe Navarro has done everything right.
He has. And like you said, they needed to be in a groove, whoever it was, and they finally just gave the keys to Navarro and said, you drive this offense. And what's he do? Bam, bam, two straight, or two of the last 3 drives end up in the end zone for the Bulldogs, and they've got a lead over a team that went to the 5A quarterfinals last year, and I think if you're a 4A SIC team watching this or listening to this, you're like, oh no, Nampa is back.
Yeah, I know they were 6-3 last year. They've been in 3 state playoff games or playoffs, and man, they look like they've got it going right now. And they had to replace their quarterback from a year ago, who I thought at times Nampa depended too much on. He was good.
Yeah, he was fantastic. And I think he's playing over at Eastern Oregon. I believe that's where he decided to go. But, I mean, if you look back a couple of years ago, he had that 90-yard run or something like that in the playoffs against Century. Just a phenomenal player. But it looks like Navarro has come into his own this evening.
So Hannah kicks it, keeps it on the rug, bounces up at about the 25-yard line. That looks like Cody Walk, who has it, bounces off some defenders, still going, knocks off another defender at the 40, still going at the 46, and time will run out. But that was quite a run by Walk.
He just lowered his shoulder and went through 2 or 3 different Bulldogs.
He's 6'5". Like I said, there's about I think every school in the Big Sky is looking at him, and he's about ready to get some FBS offers too. And he is good.
And you can see why right there. I think he earned a couple views from that play alone.
Well, how about the Nampa Bulldogs? How about Ryan Schuler? A couple of touchdown runs, a big run to get a first down to keep a drive alive. Ryan Schuler, great. And how about Gabe Navarro looking good at quarterback? The Nampa Bulldogs at halftime leading the Capital Eagles 19-14 here at Donald Larson Park on IdahoSports.com.
Banking. Maybe you enjoy the person-to-person attention you get going to your bank. Maybe you enjoy the convenience of banking from home sweet home. Or maybe you like the flexibility of paying your bills, applying for a loan, or talking to your personal banking person from wherever fits your fancy. Then definitely, you should bank at Mountain West Bank. Member FDIC. The easy, convenient, any way you want to bank.
The injuries look like those seen in people exposed to poisons like mustard gas. That's how doctors are describing what they see in the lungs of vapors. The chemicals can essentially burn your lungs. Find the truth at BehindTheHaze.com.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Toyota, let's go places.
I'm Corey. I'm a dairy nutritionist here in the Treasure Valley. I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to do my part to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. As soon as the vaccines were readily available, I was vaccinated. I would encourage people to do the research listen to the healthcare providers. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, there was hardly any wait. It was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
Banking. Maybe you enjoy the person-to-person attention you get going to your bank. Maybe you enjoy the convenience of banking from home sweet home. Or maybe you like the flexibility of paying your bills, applying for a loan, or talking to your personal banking person from wherever fits your fancy. Then definitely, you should bank at Mountain West Bank. Member FDIC. The easy, convenient, any way you want to bank.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Toyota, let's go places.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back. Wayne DeZu back along with Logan Green, and welcome back to Donald Larson Park. We're at halftime. It is Nampa leading Capital 19-14. You know, Nampa struck first, led 6-0, and then Capital scored a couple of touchdowns and actually took a 14-6 lead. Then it's been all Nampa since, and what a job by the Bulldogs late in the ball game to use their timeouts wisely. The only thing they did, they wasted about 10 or 12 seconds deciding whether or not to take a timeout. We thought maybe that come back to haunt them. It didn't.
Well, now it looks like a little bit of strategy, right, Wayne? Because after the kick return that Walk had where he got out to about the 45, if you had left Nampa with those extra or Capital with those extra 15, they might have snuck in a field goal or something like that. So it turned out to work out just fine for the Bulldogs.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We are so glad to have 5A football on the air here at IdahoSports.com. I'll be doing about 15 regular season games. We'll take you right into the playoffs. And tomorrow night I'll be at Mountain View High School as we do the Mountain View Meridian game. And, of course, we'll have Rocky Mountain later on in the year. But they started last Saturday as they beat Highland by a score of 12-7 in a crazy game. Highland came back and, you know, it was Rocky 12-0 at halftime, and Highland came back and scored the only points of the second half.
Right.
But, you know, Rocky they've only lost one game and now starting the fourth year. So one game in 3 years, now starting the fourth.
Incredible. You know, a heck of a run by the Grizzlies the last couple years.
Now let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about your game that you're doing tomorrow night in a moment, but let's talk about our 5A schedule for tomorrow night. Got Boise High at Emmett. That's going to be an interesting matchup of 5A, 4A. Bora Timberline right here at Donald Larson Park tomorrow night. Then Owyhee their first game ever.
Right.
Playing Centennial at Centennial.
Yep.
You know, Centennial 0-6. Hawaii hasn't won a game yet.
I think it's a great matchup for both teams, honestly. It's no diss on Centennial. It's true. They've struggled the last few years. A good chance for them to open up against somebody. And Hawaii, they don't draw Rocky first, which is good for them.
And another key, interesting 5A versus 4A matchup, Eagle at Bishop Kelly.
That
intrigues me.
That's a nice matchup. I wish I could be there for that one. That one sounds great.
How about Kuna? The Cavemen traveled to Lewiston. Remember, Lewiston came down here last year to open up the season against Kuna, so the Cavemen going up there this year to play that game. And then Skyview, Columbia tomorrow night. So a battle of Canyon County between Skyview and Columbia. Now, we talk about your game there. You've got Elko, Nevada coming to town to take on Middleton. You'll have that game for Middleton High School.
Yeah, I like Middleton in that game. It's interesting when you play an out-of-state team. It's hard to know exactly how their record compares to what an Idaho record would be. They seem to be about a 500 level team every year, Elko does. Maybe a little bit below 500. But what's interesting is, Elko's just kind of out on an island of its own there in Nevada. Mm-hmm. They have to go 300 miles no matter where they play.
Yeah, they do.
Whether it's in Idaho or even if it's in Reno or down near Vegas. So it's really not that far of a trip for them to come up and play Middleton. So it'll be fun to see them. And they've got a great quarterback, Middleton does, in Kai McClure that looks great. Great wide receiver outside. Tyler Medeiros, who was the 4A basketball player of the year. So, it's. I think they're going to be good. I think the McClure-Medeiros combination is going to work out well for the Vikings this year. And McClure, he just looks great as a quarterback, and he's always on those top 10 lists, top 5 lists you see from for top quarterbacks around the state. So it'll be interesting to see how the Vikings do this year.
I've got to hand it to Medeiros, because you take Jack Payne, who used to play at Boise last year, great basketball player, has like a dozen NCAA Division I offers, decided to transfer to Hawaii. Well, Hawaii thought, hey, hallelujah, we got a great, quarterback. And then he decides only to play football, or basketball, rather. He decided only to play basketball, so he is not playing football this year. Oh, he's not? He is not playing football.
Oh, my, everything I had thought was he was going to play. So that drastically changes a lot of things for Hawaii not having him back there.
Well, they got a couple of kids. They got a transfer. Hawaii got a transfer from Portland, and a kid from that played down at Los Gatos High School in California. So a lot of people moving into the valley.
Right.
And Hawaii is right smack dab into the where everybody's moving area.
That's true. I've heard the same thing about Kuna. A lot of people moving to Kuna and boosting that up. But you're right. Where Hawaii is, you're getting kids that would have be in Star or South Meridian, or I guess that's West Meridian.
Yep.
Even fringes of Middleton and edges of Nampa, some of those country areas over there. So I never thought about that. We get all those California transplants in here that have great. I mean, Los Gatos High School. I've heard of them.
Yep.
And so I'm sure that'll be a great addition for the Storm.
Yep. And, of course, also tomorrow, Valley View is at Twin Falls. So Valley View making a trip down there. They're one of the teams that I thought could do well this year. Homedale at Caldwell. And, let's just hope Caldwell has a better year than they had last year. Just getting a team on the field.
Yeah, it's too bad to see a team at a school as big as Caldwell. Caldwell technically would be a 5A school.
Yeah.
And they petitioned down. And I even read some things out there, some grumblings about teams being able to petition by sport. And I think Caldwell would be one of those teams that would greatly benefit from, even though they're a 5A level, to go down to a 3A level for football just to gain that support, because it's hard to want to go out and they really struggled last year and it wasn't close. And you'd like to see that program come back to where it could be. They've got the athletes there having 1,800 kids at your school.
Well, they struggled with COVID. They struggled with grades. They had a lot of problems, and they were pretty open about it.
Yeah.
And they just didn't have enough kids to play because of grades, and the coaching staff, to their credit. After all, unlike what I tried to do when I went to high school, you go to high school to learn something. I went to high school, play football, play sports, and that's what they're trying to get away from. You go there to get an education.
That's right.
The other thing is they also had that Ammon Bundy debacle where he wouldn't wear a mask out at Caldwell, so they canceled the second half. So it was a horrible
weird
year.
Season.
Let's just hope that the Cougars have a much better season. I look forward to that for them. I really do.
Yeah, and hopefully
those kids deserve it.
No, they do, and like you said, I like the guts of the coaching staff though to shut it down like they did last year. They took a couple forfeits at the end when they could have played, but you don't want to send a bunch of freshmen out there playing Nampa. Like it's just not. You could play them, and I mean, you look over the rosters, and you might see one, maybe two freshmen out there. I don't see any on either of these two teams.
No, you don't.
And it would just be a hard situation to throw them in there. If this is a 1A level, you can throw. That's all you got to work with. But in the 4 or 5A level, you just can't put those guys out there. And yeah, let's hope that we see something more. But I really like that Boise-Emmett matchup that you mentioned before. Boise won their final couple of games last year against 4A teams, of course, lower end 4A. Emmett, definitely not a lower end 4A team. Did lose a lot from that state championship team, but still a great team. But it'll be interesting without Jack Payne. How is that going to work for the Braves?
They did pick up a quarterback out of Twin Falls. I can't remember his name,
okay.
but the kid came up from Twin. So they do have that. But it'll be interesting to see. Let's do this. Let's take a break. Nampa coming out now. We got about a minute or so before we start the second half. Our halftime score, Nampa 19, Capital 14 from Donald Larson Park on IdahoSports.com.
Banking. Maybe you enjoy the person-to-person attention you get going to your bank. Maybe you enjoy the convenience of banking from home sweet home. Or maybe you like the flexibility of paying your bills, applying for a loan, or talking to your personal banking person from wherever fits your fancy. Then definitely, you should bank at Mountain West Bank. Member FDIC. The easy, convenient, any way you want to bank.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Hey, we are back, everybody. Welcome back here to IdahoSports.com. Good to have you with us. This is an IdahoSports.com Game Streams production of Treasure Valley Game Night, presented by Mountain West Bank, also brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealer, Project Filter, and Valley-Wide Cooperative. And, of course, also tonight, we want to mention our Power Booster sponsors, the College of Western Idaho, Hoffman Auto Body, Best Western Plus, Overhead Door, Big Eye Insurance Company, and Donut Jecka Pacific Residential Mortgage, and of course our webcast sponsor, Bob's Bicycles. Good to have Vern Ward and Bob's Bicycles with us all year long. They are going to come out as a webcast sponsor for every 5A SIC regular season game this year, so we're happy to have them with us. And you know what, during that break, you and I got talking about that North Carolina State baseball team that you so love and the World Series debacle, and you are still hurt.
Well, here's the thing.
Deeply hurt.
Me and my oldest son, I had been working it out to go. I had looked at, I lived in Cheyenne for a couple months, and I'm like, all right, I can drive to Cheyenne late one evening, stay with somebody there, maybe work the day Friday, and get to Omaha the next day and get
it's
there
a long
for that.
Drive,
for
dude.
that, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have been desirable, but I'm like my childhood team, NC State, making the College World Series. And only to have it ripped away. It's just a typical thing to happen to them.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody joking that, I guess somebody made a joke that UNC released COVID just to keep NC State out of to prevent them.
Oh, man.
I got a good chuckle out of that. But
that North Carolina humor is unbelievable.
It's so But yeah, it still hurts a little bit,
Well, it should, because I tell you what, that. I covered the College World Series for almost a decade, and was there for all the games.
Yeah.
And, when I was there at KETV in Omaha, Channel 7 TV, and that town supports that event like you wouldn't believe. Every game is sold out. Every game. It doesn't matter who's playing. They don't have a dog in the fight, and yet they're there all the time, the fans. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I really wanted to experience. It sounds like you had a great experience there, and you were there for the old Rosenblatt, right?
The Rosenblatt. And I only went over there because I could sit in the press box and get the free food.
Why not? If you can watch the College World Series inside.
Watch the College World Series, have great food. It's all free. What better life could you ask for?
Yeah, so here's the Wayne. I was camping with my boys before that last game, before it all happened. And I had the Sirius XM radio out and turned it on up in Lowman, only to hear what happened. And I'm like, this is not real. This is not real. They are being sent home. Oh, man, But, that's an issue that affected lots of teams across Idaho last year. A lot of high school teams that, were doing well, maybe had key players sit out. And it's nice. It doesn't look like that is a prevailing thing this season.
All right, we are ready to rock and roll from our baseball talk to a second half of football as we open up our SIC 5A coverage here on IdahoSports.com. It's Nampa 19, Capital 14, and it will be Capital kicking off. Lance Hanna will set it up at the 40-yard line. He'll kick off. Avery Downey, Nate Cherry deep along with Cody Walk for Capital. As the lights start taking over here at Donald Larson Park on an absolutely gorgeous night for high school football here in the Treasure Valley. High kickoff going to the right. Looks like it's going to be Nate Cherry again. Goes to his left, out to the 20, 25, to the 30, and drug down at about the 31-yard line. So Nate Cherry took it back to the 31 or 32, and that's where Capital will begin.
Avjian gets his hand right on the name Capital on the front of the jersey and just doesn't let go and holds on for dear life and brings him down. And if he doesn't hold on tight enough, there's a lot of room in front of Cherry to run.
Way Cherry went down, almost looked like he could have been face mask down, but he wasn't. But kind of hard to tell from here because when he was near that Capital sideline, they're standing. The players are right there. You can't see a thing when they're inside 5 yards of the sideline. All right, Max Clark turns around, hands it off to Olson. Jacob Olson, nice play, right side, still going. Gets off one tackler, spins out to the 50-yard line. Looks like he was going to be down at the 40, spun off of that tackler, and gets out to right around midfield.
That turns a 5-yard gain into a 15-yard pickup, and like you said, around the 40, he got hit hard. Coming inside, one of the safeties just blew him up, but he bounced off of it and kept going.
So do you think Todd Simmis and the coaching staff had something to say to this team at halftime?
I think so. 2 plays, and you're at midfield. I think they heard it loud and clear.
Play action fake. Right side, Cody Walk has it down the sidelines. He's at the 40. First down, that's Nate Cherry. Not Cody Walk. Nate Cherry coming out of the backfield.
Hey, you can just sense the change in momentum coming out of the half for Capital. They're fired up and ready to go.
Another first down, as they say. It's another Capital first down at the Nampa 39-yard line. So the Nampa defense now, they got to wake up here because Capital's coming out. They pass it out to the sideline. That's Cherry, and Nampa defense does a great job to drop Cherry for about a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, stayed home, saw the play for what it was, a screen pass here to the near side, and 2 different Bulldogs converged on that tackle.
Yeah, they did. Looks like Joangino got him in there. So second down and 11 back at the 41-yard line. Nampa territory, though. Capital coming out quick. Clark over the middle. Caught. It was caught, then dropped, then caught. Mastretti, Caden Mastretti coming up with the play. He caught it, got hit, lost the handle, caught it again, and brought it down all the way to the, looks like 26-yard line.
You got to wrap up there. He just hit him with the shoulder. That was Avjian again. He just bumped him. If he had wrapped him up on that, he doesn't catch that ball.
A good job by Caden Mastretti to maintain focus. Hand off to Olson. He tries to go right side. Nothing there. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tried to get off right tackle. Couldn't quite do it.
Like he might have lost his footing there, too, trying to turn.
Peyton Gunner, the quarterback, also a defensive end, was in on the play. No gain. It'll be second down. Actually lost about a half a yard. Call it 2nd and 10. Max Clark, all SIC quarterback last year, despite the fact he only played 2.5 games. He had 602 yards passing as the flags fly on the snap. We'll check it out. 9 touchdowns last year in 2.5 games. Illegal procedure against the Eagles. That'll back it up. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
It's almost, it comes out to what, 2 touchdowns a half?
Yeah,
pretty
it's amazing.
much.
Well, he likes to wing it, and we talked about at the top of the show. You know, I do that prepcast that I do at IdahoSports.com with Brandon Bainey. He's not a big fan of the 7-on-7. Doesn't think it's real football. I
tell you what, Clark's looking great today, and I think 8-on-8 is real football when the 8-mans play it. So I think 3-on-3 is real football. Just give me football.
A little shuttle pass up the middle to Cody Walk doesn't work. He bounces it outside. Got some running room down to the 20, out of bounds, and push there. So he gets almost all of that yardage back. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 or 4.
That's good awareness for a receiver on that run. He tried to go up the middle, like you said. Nothing was there. Goes around the outside. Picks up 10.
3rd time they've used that shuttle pass. They've gone right to left, left to right. That time right to left, and it didn't work up the middle, but he just was able to bounce it outside. 3rd down and 4. Ball at the 21-yard line. Cody Walk lines up right side tight end. Got Olsen at running back. Big 3rd down. Clark back to pass. Throws complete over the middle. 1st down to Avery Downey. Avery Downey inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal to go Capital.
Man, the Eagles, they're cooking on this drive, just carving their way down the field inside the 10 now. Only about 2.5 minutes off the clock so far in the 3rd quarter.
And late first half touchdown by Nampa woke up this Eagle offense. Handoff up the middle. Olsen, I think. Touchdown. Boy, I tell you, he got stopped right at the line of scrimmage, kept the feet churning, and was able to get it into the end zone. Nice job that time running by Jacob Olsen. 20-19.
Yeah, just right up the middle, shuffled his way in. Looked like he might be stopped at the 2. Gave it that extra effort to get over the end zone.
So what does the coach say when they start the 3rd quarter and they take the opening kickoff? Extra point is good. 21-19. Capital regains the lead here at Donald Larson Park. Coach says, we got to score. We got to take it down. We got to start the 3rd period. We get the opening kickoff. We got to score.
And that's exactly what they did. Just right down the throat there. No mercy withheld on that drive. And again, Nampa with those 2 missed extra points. That comes back now to be the difference in the game. So we'll see how much that plays a factor into the final of this one.
21-19. The Capital Eagles coming out of the locker room on fire and move the football right down the field. So we'll see what happens here. Like we said, quite frankly, we think that tonight Gabe Navarro, 5'11 junior, has won the quarterback job. At least it appears that way. He was in a battle there with Peyton Gunter, also a junior. Gunter, as you mentioned, 6'4", 225, has the really mark of, a great quarterback, a size of a great quarterback. But really tonight it's been Gabe Navarro who has moved this team.
The cheerleaders for Capital are doing push-ups for every point, and I'm glad I don't have to do 21 push-ups in front of a crowd of people. I'm sure they would be, when you stick your rear up in the air and do it. Does that even count? Would they make me redo it? Yeah. I don't know, but they did a great job down there.
All right, deep for Nampa right now. Number 13, that's Daniel Carrillo. And number 23, Dante Avgian. So Avgian back there, and it's going to come his way. Takes it at the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and no, that wasn't him. He was down at the 30.
They blended together. I thought he was still going too.
So did I.
He's a little guy.
Yeah.
He's hard to see in the middle of everything.
He went down at the 30, and then he had a guy that was blocking for him, continue to look like he was running out at the 35. But not a bad run back from the 5 to the 30-yard line, 25-yard kickoff return for Avshian, and we'll see what Nampa can do.
The Bulldog offense was on fire to end the half. We'll see if they can pick up right where they left off.
So they're going to have at the running back there, Daniel Carrillo. And this is Navarro who's going to keep it. Faked it to Carrillo. And the bottom line is, the good thing about that, if you're Nampa, neither guy would have gotten anywhere. And then we had a little kind of mishap away from the ball. Got a Capital player down. Flags fly. So we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct called against somebody.
You know, I thought I had saw something else in the backfield. There's a player rolling in pain around the 35, but I thought I saw an extra shove to the face of the quarterback. I don't know if that's what they are calling or not.
They threw the flag right where the player is down.
Yeah, it's on Nampa.
Okay.
So that's not what they call. So it must, like you said, it must have been on that. I missed it. I don't.
It was almost like a takedown. Nampa player kind of picking up a Capital player and taking him down, although the player right now being worked on for cramps.
And you've seen that throughout the night. I've seen, especially down on that line of scrimmage, a little chippiness, a little pushing, even when the play is on the other side of the field and the two players aren't really involved. Still a little bit of pushing going on.
Well, if you don't think this is about 5A versus 4A and, hey, we're better than you and no, you're not type of thing, you're crazy. I know it would be if I was out there and played for Nampa. I'd be saying, hey, we can play with you guys.
Yeah, we deserve to be here just as much as you do.
So it is a cramp, and that's what the player's down. So the penalty is going to be against Nampa, and they're going to move the ball all the way back, I believe, to the 15-yard line. So it's going to be first down and a whole bunch. And the cramp player that time coming off is Jack Murphy, a senior linebacker. He's running under his own power, but now the left leg says, I'm not going to uncramp this easy.
Yeah. Well, let me get to the sideline at least.
So he's got to, and now he's down again.
Down.
Yeah, he just got to walk. That cramp is just getting him. So it's a lot of different things, cramps. Hydration, just calcium, a lot of different things. So the ball all the way back to the 15, as I mentioned, second down and 25. Wow. Navarro back to pass, throws over the middle, caught by Fricky. Fricky has it out near the 28. So that'll bring up third down and 12.
Well, he's almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
But when they started, they had first down. You know what I'm saying? Now they're like third.
Yeah, now it's third.
So they've been fighting an uphill battle. Whereas, on the other hand, Capital came out just running downhill.
And you've seen from Nampa a couple of times tonight, they've gotten into these holes because of the penalties, those first game penalties that you sometimes see.
Here comes the pressure. Up the middle, they hand it off. Carrillo, nothing there. So I kind of felt like Nampa just kind of said, okay, I don't think we have a really good third down and 12 play. Not here at this time in the field. And the defense is coming so strong. Let's try to go against it. But you're talking about chippiness right now.
Yeah,
flags didn't fly that time, but they very well could have.
I was just about to say that, Wayne. You can see it. You can see that headbutting going down after every play. Someone's in so-and-so's face, pointing at the scoreboard, saying, "Look at that!" And, and you got to think, like you said, maybe you go back down to your 4A level, and a little smack talk from everybody down there. But that's football, right?
Yeah, it is. So Peyton Gunner comes on to kick it away for Nampa. Nate Cherry is deep for Capital at his own 35. Here comes the pressure. Nice kick over Cherry's head. Goes out of bounds. What a great kick.
Yeah.
No return at all. And let's see where they mark it out. Looks like he went out of bounds at about the 25, but let's see.
It looks like that's where he's standing. Like you said, just a perfect corner kick that rolls out of bounds, picked up an extra yard or two on its way out. Doesn't give any chance of return because Capital has been great when they get a chance to return the ball tonight.
Well, I tell you what, didn't last. If this drive is like the last drive, it's not going to make any difference where Capital starts because they were just be able to move the ball at will last time.
Yeah, Nampa defense needs to step it up. They did great at the end of the half. Those last couple of drives, they shut down Capital. They were able to get pressure in the backfield, and I think that was the key thing. You saw Clark a lot of times rolling over here to the left side. He couldn't find anywhere to go because that defensive line could get back there. That last drive, no pressure.
Yep. So we'll see if they start bringing some pressure here. Olsen in the backfield again. Max Clark fakes it to Olsen, rolls to his left, throws out on the flat. It's complete to Cherry. Cherry makes a couple of moves out to the 35-yard line. Wow, they're just opening it up, aren't they? And we got another Capital player down, and again, it looks like cramps. We got a Nampa player down with what looks like cramps. The Capital player is Cody Walk.
I can't tell who the Nampa one is over there. But, I mean, it's a warm day. It's cooler than it has been, but still pretty warm out there even at this time of night.
It's Abjian, number 23, who is down for. So 2 players down, timeout on the field. 7:05 to go here in the third period. Gives me a chance to tell you about Bob's Bicycles. Bob's Bicycles on Fairview and Boise. Folks, they're family-owned, have been since 1979, and their selection of mountain bikes, road bikes, BMX, cruisers, and comfort bikes is second to none. Whether online at bobs-bicycles.com or on the showroom floor, Bob's Bicycles will have the bike, the accessories, the clothing to fit your needs, and they've got in-store financing, so you're talking 6 months, no interest. Stop in, say hi to Vern. We're talking Bob's Bicycles, serving Idaho for more than 40 years. Bob's Bicycles proud to support Idaho student athletes. And both players are up. Like I said, we weren't too worried about them because we got cramp issues, not injury issues. So a nice little pass out on the flat to Nate Cherry. That's going to bring up second down and about a yard. Jacob Olsen, the running back, right next to Clark, gets the ball up the middle, has the first down, trying to push the pile around, and the pile finally gets him down. Slow whistle that time. They had about 3 or 4 white jerseys around Olsen, but they couldn't get him off his feet. And another player is down. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's not that hot out there tonight. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, just saying, is it early season conditioning? You haven't gone through, you've had a couple weeks of practice, but not the full gauntlet of a season, and that conditioning and seasoning, I guess, will come as they go.
If either one of you or me, if we start cramping up, I know we're going to have trouble tonight,
Yeah. This is nice with the padded seats. Usually you don't have the padded seats. So
it's great. This is a great press
You're
box.
in for a great season being parked here, Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you'll be here a lot. I mean, some schools, you'll go to the West Data schools, but if it's a game here, you got a great setup.
Yeah. Well, we'll be and Mountain View treats us great. So
they do. They got a great spot.
We'll have a good time over there. Judd Benedict, great coach. He's been there for a long time, puts together a great program. Really looking forward to Meridian. I don't have a roster for Meridian yet. Can you believe that? Meridian roster not ready.
Not ready.
I don't know if they're just trying to trick us or what.
They don't want you to know who's on their team.
Well, we'll just have to do the old 13 up the middle.
Yeah. We'll just give you numbers. It's where you delay the call enough that you can hear the PA announcer say it, and then you tap into what he says after it.
There you go. Well, I'm going to bug those guys tomorrow big time. But it may be game time before I get one. But Meridian, I tell you what, John Samberlin over there, they looked good last year. I'm interested to see how good they are this year. And Meridian was one of those teams in the first 3 games of the season that beat Mountain View, and that really kind of hung a bad taste on Mountain View.
It had been a long time, right, that Meridian had not beaten Mountain View, and they really turned it around after that, though.
All right, first down, Max Clark sends a man in motion, and we got illegal procedure. And Nate Garcia in motion. I don't think he was the culprit. There was something else that happened. But that's going to back it up, make it first down and 15 for Capital. 6:25 to go here in the third period. 21-19. It was 19-14 at halftime, Nampa. And Capital came out, took the ball right down the field to start the third period. And here they have the ball again, trying to do likewise. Second time they've had the football. Nobody in the backfield. Garcia in motion again. Clark looking to set up the screen, can't quite do it. And we got a flag down and we got a player down, and that was Brody Call. The ball was intended for Call. He never could get open. The screenplay was completely blown apart.
Yeah.
And they had to throw it to him. So Call's going to lose about 10 yards, but let's check out the flag.
And like you said, I mean, it was a great job, and they're going to lose a lot of yards on this, but Clark could have thrown it immediately. But I think if he throws that screen pass, like you said, it's gone. It's going the other way for 6.
Yeah, it is.
It's a pick 6. He waited, and that gave him time to back it up. Call backed it up just enough, and he was able to still throw the screen. But in a situation right there, you just got to get that thing out of bounds. The screen pass is going to end up losing, 5 yards or so. They haven't really placed the ball yet.
Yeah, so the screen pass was a losing proposition, and we're still waiting to see what the call is or who it's against. Have 3 officials talking about it right there at about the 27-yard line.
Hey, and if I'm Nampa, and this is on Capital, it's tough. Do you take it and make it 1st and 25, or do you make it 2nd and 5?
Personal foul, though, against Capital, so you take it.
Yeah,
you back them way up.
So now it'll be 1st and 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take that when you. So all the way back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
And the first down marker is at the 48.
Yep. They actually, technically, they got right at the 14 right now. So, yeah.
34. 1st and 34.
So
just your
they
typical.
basically have to go to midfield to get a first down. So let's see what Max Clark does. The good news is if you're Max, he's got 3 downs to try to work something out. Handoff up the middle. Olsen bounces it outside, but he's going sideways. Got lots of white jerseys there. He's not going to gain a foot. So that'll bring up 2nd and forever. Again, have to get all the way out to the 48-yard line for a first down.
And we talked about it with the pressure from Nampa needing to get in the backfield to disrupt Clark, and they've done it so far right here, being able to get back, and Clark hasn't had the time, and now it looks like they might just cut their losses and run this one.
We'll talk about being on your heels the first time Capital had the ball, and now you got your ears pinned back coming after him. Clark over the middle, incomplete, thrown behind the intended receiver. Once again, that was Brody Call, who was the intended receiver, but it was behind him, so now you got 3rd and forever. 3rd and 34 is what we're talking about.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a huge pickup, but it would have been enough to make it, 3rd and 20.
You would have been going forward.
Right.
You would have been going forward.
They need anything right here.
Anything positive right now. It's not happening.
So this is going to, if Nampa can hold right here, this is going to give the Bulldogs good field position.
Yeah.
Something they didn't have on that earlier drive where they just went backwards the whole time.
Yeah, they got to come after him, but also be smart. So they're playing a little bit of a prevent there. Their safety is about 25 yards off the line of scrimmage. Handoff up the middle to Olsen, and Olsen's going to be stopped. So really, that was kind of the white flag for Capital that time. They said, we just don't have a 3rd down and 34 play at this point.
Does anybody chuck it?
Maybe later on in the year you might feel comfortable doing some razzle-dazzle, but here you got a 21-19 lead. Let's play it a little bit conservative. So here we go. Big Josh Summers out there. He suffers from cramps earlier, but he's out there. And when he did suffer from the cramps, he's on the sidelines and missed a punt opportunity. But he's in there now, standing inside his own 3. Here comes some pressure. This is a high, short punt. Nothing there. Takes a good Capital bounce near midfield. So it got better than what he thought he would get out of it. Let's see where they mark it.
Well, that turned out way better than I was thinking, Wayne. I thought that thing was going out of bounds around the 40, and this goes all the way to the other side of the 50, out at the 48. So about 12 yards longer than I thought it was going to stay at.
Yeah, and I think they gave him a couple of extra yards, too, because I thought it definitely was gone by the 50. But still, 48, when you're at your own 48-yard line, that's pretty good field position if you're Nampa. You're only down by 2. You got so much time left in this ball game. 4:10 to go here in the 3rd period. Now you just got to, settle down, get back to the game plan you brought it with. For all intents and purposes, you've played 3 periods here and you're tied with Capital.
Right. Yes, in reality, you make those 2 extra points, it's a tie game. Yeah.
So you're right there with them. Handoff, Carrillo. Carrillo can have a big game. We talked about his playoff game against Middleton last year, 204 yards rushing. He's not a starter, but this time he gets 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6 as he takes it to the 49-yard line into Capital territory. Nice thing about it is if you're Nampa, there's no need to rush or panic. You can run everything that you have in your game plan.
I know it's good for Nampa, though, to get those positive yards. That last drive, they just kept going backwards. And to make it 2nd and 7 instead of 1st and 20, big difference here for the Bulldogs.
Little confusion in the backfield. Schuler's back there with Carrillo. They hand it off to Schuler, and Schuler's going to be stopped for no gain. In fact, he'll lose 5. So now it's going to be 3rd down and about 11.
I think Nampa is better suited to run the ball after they've thrown it a lot. I think they need to get that defense loosened up a little bit and spread them out. They're looking for the run, and they're swallowing it up. The times that you've seen Schuler with a great run, he has a 31-yard touchdown run, was after throw. Then you run, you sneak in a run there, defense catches them off guard.
So 3rd down and 11. Back in their own side of the field at their own 48-yard line. Navarro slings it down the sideline. Caught. Inbounds. Yeah. I see where they mark it. That pass was thrown down there to Higgins. Higgins caught it, turned around, jumped up over the defender, and it looks like they're going to put it at the 22-yard line.
That's the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen him go up over everybody else and catch a ball on the sideline. Great catch by Higgins.
As they say, he just high-pointed that ball. He got up there and wanted it more than the defender. Defender probably didn't know where it was.
It was one of those. He had to go over his shoulder to catch it, just thrown only where the receiver could get it.
Navarro hands it off. This is Carrillo going left side. Boom, he's down. Hello, how are you?
That was Cherry that just stood him up. It was just like that's an immediate hit and just down right where he got hit.
What was that old line from Princess Bride? Hello, my name is Montheo.
I've never seen that movie.
Never seen that movie?
I've been
How
told.
Did you not see that movie?
I know. It's funny because it's on like Hulu or Netflix or something one day, and my wife's like, "You need to watch this."
Oh yeah, it's a classic. Over the middle, intercepted, picked off by Capital at the goal line, and I believe that's Cody Walk. Nope, it's Nate Cherry, who came up with that interception at the goal line as Navarro was going to the end zone. And Cherry eyeballed it all the way and just, he was cherry picking.
No, he was a great interception. Right, like you said, it was right on the goal line. And Navarro had a couple of options there. That's probably the last one I would have taken, right across the middle in double coverage. And Cherry makes him pay. Nampa really moving it on that drive. And now Capital, with the momentum so far in the 3rd, now gets the ball back with 1:56 to go in the 3rd.
Let's see what Capital decides to do here, what Max Clark does. Once again, they're going with the running back, Jacob Olson. They've been pretty steady with that all night. They sent Avery Downey wide to the left. They got Cody Walk lined up in a slot. No, they had fumble on the snap. That time the snap was low. Max Clark couldn't pick it up off the turf. Fumble it, they'll lose 5 yards.
Some people might say, hey, Clark, pick that thing up and try to make something out of nothing. But sometimes a smart play is, you know what, I'm just going to go down. This thing is already messed up. I'm just going to fall on it. And we got a couple more downs to work with.
Yeah, you got to live to play another day. You know what I'm saying?
But if you're Nampa, that drive couldn't have started out any better for you.
Clark, Garcia in motion, back to pass, looking for the screen to set up. Can't find anybody. Throws it into the ground. One hops it to Olson, who was his intended receiver. But again, that's the 2nd time the screenplay just totally blown up.
And I can't see the number on the lineman there. I believe it's Alvarez for Nampa. He stood there and he didn't rush after Clark. He kind of danced back saying, I know where you're going. You're going to my side, and you're going to throw it. And if I just stand in your way here, you can't do anything. And eventually he does. He kind of just pivots the ball into the ground towards that receiver on the side, makes it 3rd and 17.
That's how a big fish becomes a big fish. He never takes the bait. Here we go. Back to pass. Over the middle. Incomplete. Overthrows his intended receiver. Max Clark did. That was Garcia who was intended to catch that ball.
Man, and if Garcia gets his hands on it, he catches it in stride, he probably picks up that first down.
Well, he may have picked up a TD because he was moving fast, and that ball was thrown about a couple of yards over his head, and that was about it. Fourth down and 17. No, fourth down and 17. Looked like further than that, but 17's enough. I don't want to make him. I don't want to hurt their feelings anymore.
Make it any worse.
I don't want to make it any worse than it is. Exactly. High snap over Summerheads and out of the end zone. Touchback. I mean, not touchback. Safety. So that just went over the head of Josh Summers, the big defensive lineman, and out of the end zone. So that ties the game up at 21-all. And guess who gets the football? Safeties are really tough. You give up 2 points, and then you have to punt it away to somebody.
Man, that is, as soon as you see it going over, it had just enough to get through the back, out of the end zone back there. It almost would have stopped if it had been any closer, but now it's all tied up. This is where I think maybe we should be.
Yeah, there's your 2 points right there.
And so that closes the gap. But like you said, now Nampa gets the ball back. So
and should have good field position.
Yeah, because now you have to punt it.
Yeah, from
you
the
don't get the kickoff.
Yep.
So you got to put your punter at the 20, like you said. And I think Nampa's going to get this thing probably between their 30 or 40, if not better than that. And a little momentum starting to go on the way to the Bulldogs now.
Wow. So how could you ask for a better opening game of our 5A SIC schedule of games?
No, you can't, Wayne. This is a great what a great game to start it off.
So we're excited to have our power boosters. And, of course, if you're interested in anything, sponsoring, helping out with the webcast, you can email me at Wayne at IdahoSports.com. I'll tell you how to do it.
Yeah, we love all the sponsors that come on to us. The sponsors is what helps us bring this to everybody at home live and free here.
So they're going to try with the free kick. They're going to go ahead and do the kickoff style. And, off the player intended. Nampa's going to have to fall on it to the 41-yard line. I don't know who the player trying to field it was. I didn't get a number, but it went off his knee, bounced around, and Nampa wisely just fell on it. Said, okay, look, we're going to get at the 41. What more can we ask for? Let's not get greedy.
That was a bullet kick. Yeah. Just kind of didn't hardly have any airtime. And that's probably why Nampa was able to pick it up so easily, even though it was dropped.
But I don't think it got 10 feet off the ground.
Right. And, this is probably about where they would have gotten that punt if the punt had gotten off.
Yeah.
Probably around the 40 or 50. So now they get it where they would have got it anyways, but they get the 2 points.
So 21-21, a minute 10 to go here in the third period. Navarro back to pass, looking down the sidelines, has the man open, just overthrows him. Wow. Higgins came free at the last second. That pass was about 5 yards too strong.
If Higgins catches up to that ball, that's another touchdown for Nampa. That was a beautiful throw, but like you said, just 5 yards away. He's done that. He's done a great job at getting away from his defenders.
Alrighty, here we go. 65 seconds left to go, third period. 21-21, Nampa Bulldogs, second down and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Navarro takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. And that's Ryan Schuler. He'll get a couple of 3 yards. Falls forward.
This will be an interesting play call. This is sometimes where we've seen Nampa mix things up and run it in a situation like this and been able to pick up those yards. Usually the only successful times tonight when they throw that in there when it's least expected, but no one in the backfield now.
Empty backfield for Navarro. Needs about 8 yards for a first down. Has to get into capital territory at about the 48-yard line. Here's the snap, throw over the middle, incomplete. Wow, he just threw that thing hard to Dante Avajan, who just couldn't quite get the ball.
Yeah, I think just a little more touch on that pass, and it's an easy first down. But like you said, just a bullet in there.
Yeah, Avajan found a seam. He did.
I think in this position, if you're Nampa, maybe early in the first half, when they did go for it in this position, I think now you have to punt.
You do. You got a different situation right now. It's 21-21, and you got a whole quarter to play. So you got 20 seconds left in this one. Now it's not being stupid. It's doing the right thing, making the right play, and taking the percentages. Slow snap back from the long snapper. That's tough. Ball takes a good bounce. And this time Avery Downey lets it go inside the 20 down to about the 19-yard line.
That gained it. It hit it to 35, 30-35, and just kept rolling.
Great bounce for Nampa that time. 16 seconds to go here in the third.
Good crowd here for Capital. I'd say most, I can't see the wings, but good crowd. Got the band back finally. I think only half the schools I went to last year had a band out there. So it's nice to have people out here making noise.
You know, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I said that these two teams were both my dark horses for the year. I thought they could do some damage in their respective classes. And around. First down, we got a flag that flies.
Yeah, I think it's going to come back for a hold.
Yeah, had a hold on the end out there. So or a block in the back, one of the two. And that was a nice handoff that time to Brody Call around the left end.
It's always tough on those end arounds because those linemen on the other side at the end of the end around, they got to block for a long time, and it's hard to maintain that block and not give in to the temptation to grab some jersey or shoulder pads. And once again, another negative play on first down for Capital. They'll still be able to run first down again, but it's, again, first and about 17.
Yeah, a long way to go. You know, it's interesting. Nampa, Carson Rich, he's a 6 foot, 180-pound senior safety, and he has been playing so far back. They got double safeties that are playing out there. He's standing on the 25-yard line. The line of scrimmage is the 12. I mean, he is way back there.
Like, I dare you to throw it back here.
Yeah. Handoff up the middle. Olsen maybe gets out to the 15, 16-yard line. That'll still be second down and about 14. And that's going to do it for the third period. So let's take a commercial break. We'll be back. We head to the fourth and final stanza here. Knotted at 21-21, Nampa and Capital.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Toyota, let's go places.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Capital 21, Nampa 21. You're listening to an IdahoSports.com game streams production of Treasure Valley Game Night, presented by Mountain West Bank. Also brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealer, Project Filter, and Valley-Wide Cooperative. Our Power Booster sponsors tonight, College of Western Idaho, Hoffman Auto Body, Best Western Plus Overhead Door, Big Eye Insurance Company, Donut Jecka Pacific Residential, and our webcast sponsor, Bob's Bicycles. Wayne DeZubak, Logan Green with you, knotted at 21. And right now, second down and 13 for Capital. Downey around left end, heads up across the 20 out to about the 24, 25-yard line. But that'll bring up third down and about 5.
That's a great pickup there on that second down play. Didn't need to get it all back, but now a 3rd and 5, much more manageable, especially the way they've been able to pass out on those screens.
Big play coming up for Capital. They would like to maintain possession of this ball, run that clock as best they can, move the ball down the field. The only score of the second half was a long touchdown drive by Capital and a safety by Nampa. Back to pass, complete. Nice catch there. That is a new guy, Jacob Four. Hadn't seen him tonight, I do believe. But make sure, yeah, Jacob Four. First time We called number 35's number tonight, and he gets a first down out near midfield, right at midfield, in fact. And a Nampa player is slow to get up.
Yeah, great play. I think play was aided by those two Nampa players going down. I think they bumped bodies early on in that play, and it really opened up the right side of the field.
So Capital now with the ball right at midfield. And a tie ball game with 4A Nampa. Nampa 6-3 last year, knocked out of the playoffs in the quarterfinals by eventual 4A champion Skyline. Capital, pass over the middle, complete. Down to the 40, down to the 39-yard line. And that was Avery Downey coming up with the catch. And very close to another first down, it is.
And now they're moving. You know, Capital's been kind of in this groove where they have 2 or 3 really bad drives, and then they have another one that's just they just slice and dice through the defense, which they're looking like they're doing right now.
And they're picking up the pace. They're trying to get this going. The chain's barely set. They're ready to go. Handoff to Olson, nothing there. He is just crunched in that backfield. Wow. Big number 54 got him that time. How about that? Zane Cogswell.
Yeah, the 215-pound, 5'11" senior for Nampa just swallowed him up, almost jumped on his back in the backfield. Great job to get through the line.
So second down and 15. They swallowed him up for 5. Clark passes out into the flat, no good, incomplete. Ball intended that time for Mazzaretti.
I almost thought it looked from my angle, it looked like the pass was more inside, and I thought Angiano for Nampa was going to pick that thing off, but a little more here on the outside.
Here's a big down coming up for that Nampa defense in a 21-21 ball game. Nampa defense has to stop him right here on third down and 15. Clark back to pass, looking deep, going for all the marbles. It's one-on-one. Downey has it knocked down. What a great defensive play by the man we talked about playing center field, Carson Rich. He jumped in front of Avery Downey and knocked it down.
The ball was going to go right into his hands, and Rich, like you said, just gets his hand out just enough and knocks it away. What a huge deflection by Rich.
Yeah, that's going to bring on Josh Summers, who's going to try to kick it away.
Yeah, what a play. What a game. Just
yeah,
both sides, just a great game so
Still
far.
10 minutes to go and anybody's ball game. Dante Abjian back standing at his 10-yard line as here comes Josh Summers. Summers high, he loses it up in the dark sky. And the ball bounces and is downed at about the 1-yard line.
Well, I don't know. No, it's not a flag.
Yeah, there could have been interference there. I really felt that Capital interfered with the intended punt returner.
I'm shocked because he was moving forward to try and get that thing.
He was moving up to try to fair catch it, and he was knocked down.
They pushed it.
And now officials are talking about it.
I think there is a flag there.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Okay, there is.
Yeah, we're both incredulous as to what just happened here because Abjian was coming up to try to make a play for the ball, which may or may not have been a smart move because he had a lot of Capital guys around him.
Right.
But he still has to be given the opportunity.
Okay, they do call it. I was flabbergasted. Like you said, I mean, he was moving forward and got knocked down. But a great effort by Capital, even though it didn't count. They dove back there and stopped it at the 1-inch line. But this thing will come forward. It got hit around the 15. So a tack on 10 more yards. This will be about the 27.
Yeah. Instead of the 1-yard line where it looked like it may have been. You know, that's a case of the defensive line coach saying, you know, like for Capital, anybody in a white jersey, knock him down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what my coach used to say. Anybody in an opposing jersey, knock him down.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, on punts like that, it always makes, watching makes me nervous for the receiving team because it just hangs up there. If it hits somebody's back, it's a live ball.
Navarro, quick pass over the middle into the dirt. Intended out there on the flat for Ty Fricky. He had no chance at all. He just kind of threw that one, Navarro did, into the grass.
Well, Navarro's like looking at his hand like,
yeah,
what did you do, hand?
It slipped.
How did you? It just dove right into the ground.
Maybe his hand was cramping.
Yeah, everything else is a lot of papers to write the first week of school. Is that
9:55 to go here in the ball game. Regulation, it's 21-21. We got a battle going between 4A Nampa Bulldogs, 5A Capital Eagles. Navarro back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Screen out to the side again. Nothing there intended for Ryan Schuler. And so now you got 3rd down and 10. And did we get another flag?
We
the
got
officials.
2 late flags on the sideline, and I don't know who this is on. I saw a little.
Well, we talked about the chippiness of this game, and I don't know if that's what's going on. But there could have been some chippiness.
After the play in the backfield, you saw the guy who missed who it was back there, flexing his muscles after rushing Navarro, and I don't know if that's what they called, but it looked to be more over on the sidelines.
Personal foul, yep, and it's going to be against Nampa, personal foul. So there's that chippiness we talked about.
And I like when the officials call these fouls in this situation when it is chippy, because they set the tone saying, hey, we're not having that, and if you do it, you're going to get flagged for it, because eventually somebody, if they're not calling it, somebody's going to take it too far. And it's getting there right now. They're really they're pushing around. I mean, it's a tie game, 9:51 left in this one. And
yeah, 3rd and 24, ball all the way back to the 15-yard line. Little pass out into the flat, down the sidelines, complete and out of bounds. Completed there to Ty Fricky, but he's going to be well shy, and it's going to be 4th down and forever, and Nampa's going to have to kick it away. And you know what? don't get me wrong. I do not like the chippiness. But I do like the fact that these two teams came to play tonight.
Oh, yeah, I know. You like to see it not just being hey, we're not in the conference. Let's just have a friendly game. It's no, I want to beat you, and I want to beat you good.
Well, you got 4A versus 5A, Ada County versus Canyon County.
That's right.
You got so many factors in this thing.
It is the battle of the levels and towns and counties.
Oh, block kick. And it's picked up. It could go in for a touchdown, and it is a block kick. And the Capital Eagles return it for a touchdown. And I'm not sure who got it. Let's see who they're congratulating.
28.
It looks like it could be Brody Call. Brody Call may have returned that one for the TD. He didn't block it, but he was the recipient of the good bounce that bounced right to him and took it in. Wow. Talk about something changing around right there. So here comes the extra point attempt. Make it a 7-point ball game.
Yeah, I think that was Brody Call, number 28.
Yeah. Jacksonburg, the extra point attempt coming up. And it is good. So it's 28-21. Capital takes the lead on a blocked punt. Once again, all night long, the long snapper for Nampa has basically put in a slow pitch softball. That's what it looks like you're doing a slow pitch softball. Snapping it just like that. It took forever to get to the punter, and Capital knew it, and they brought the house.
And they had, and the way Nampa was lined up, they have their 8 guys, or their 7 guys there on the line. Then they have 3 middle blockers, and then the punter, and they just plowed through those middle blockers too. And that's the second blocked punt tonight for Capital. They've been back there on almost every punt, and so the last couple of, now we have a punt that ties the game, and now the punt that gives the game back to Capital gives them the lead. So Nampa now got to play from behind once again to try and tie this thing up. 9:40 on the clock, so plenty of time, but a huge momentum pickup for Capital.
Boy, the kicking game has really played a big role tonight. I mean, you had a safety off a snap that went over the punter's head for Capital that allowed Nampa to tie it up at 21-all. As you mentioned, he had 2 block kicks. This one returned for a touchdown by Brody Call. And all of a sudden, you got a 28-21 ball game. So we've seen a little bit of everything on opening night, 5A SIC for these two teams.
Yeah, just a great game. Can't ask for much more here to start off Treasure Valley game night.
All right. Kick. Takes a quick bounce. It's going to be fielded at about the 5-yard line by Abidjan, and Abidjan's going to be brought down at about the 20. So a good job by Dante to kind of get the ball. It was coming hard. It was another one of those low line drive kickoffs.
And that's another one where it's a tough call. He picks it up around the 5. I think it potentially, if he let it go one more time, it rolls out of bounds, and then you get it at the 35. But if it stays in, now all of a sudden you're gonna end up back inside the 15 most likely. So he picks it up and just makes the.
It's always that judgment call though when you're up back there and you're responsible for not letting that ball get in the hands of the other guys. You want to get it.
Right.
But you're right.
Makes the deal and gets it halfway.
Yeah, quick pass out to Fricky. Fricky down the sidelines across the 30. He's got a first down, pickup of 13.
Hedge, that was the word I was like. He hedged.
He hedged on
Took
it,
it at the 20 instead of 35 or 10. There we go. Jeez.
Well, actually, they didn't give him a first down. I thought they gave him across the 30. They did right just barely, so he's got second down on about a foot. Again, kind of hard to see because all the Capital players are standing right there on the near sideline, and when the play is right on the sideline, hard to see where they go out. Nonetheless, handoff to Schuler. Running game has not been present tonight for Nampa, has it?
No,
not consistently.
No, it's been there when they need it at the right moment for like the 31-yard touchdown run. At that time, he picks up a first down, but consistently, no. They have not been able to run the ball as well as Capital has. They maybe a few little chunks here and there, but a lot of their runs have gone backwards.
28-21, Capital leads it. On a block punt, return for a touchdown. Brody Call picked up the bounce after it was blocked. Navarro back to pass, look out, blind side, got him. Wow.
That was Will Kovac that just came in hot, like you said, from the blind side and knocks Navarro down.
Will Kovac, the senior, playing like a senior, playing like a veteran leader on this team. And now it's going to be second down and forever. And Capital, who kind of got their teeth punched in at the end of the first half and were down 19-14 at halftime, kind of came out, took that third quarter opening kickoff in for a touchdown. They've been playing harder ever since. Navarro hands off to Schuler. Schuler up the middle. Squirms his way out to about the 35-yard line. But it's still going to be fourth and long, or actually third and long. Third and about 9. But you know what? At least that's doable.
It is. And, I mean, there's still some time left, but you're down almost to the 7-minute mark here, the fourth quarter. If you don't pick it up and you give it back to Capital, there's a very real chance the Eagles can eat 5 or 6 minutes off this clock on their possession and wind this thing down for a win. So getting down to crunch time and now if you're Nampa.
And if you gain here about 8 yards, do you go for it on fourth? We'll see. If you don't gain anything, you don't go for it. But Navarro rolls to his right. Passes complete. First down. Great catch, great play, great run. Well, I'll tell you what. Navarro getting out on the outside, getting it there, and a nice catch there by Higgins.
Yeah, huge catch by Higgins. He has come up so clutch for a couple of different opportunities tonight for Nampa when they needed it, and he comes up hobbling. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go off the field, but it looks like he's already kind of walked it off. But he came up hobbling real bad. By the time he got to midfield, he was better, and they're going to just kind of let him take a rest here.
So we'll need you for third down again. So
yeah,
sit
absolutely.
Out here.
So the ball out to the 48-yard line. So as Nampa nears midfield, down by 7 with 6:59 to go. Officials call timeout here for a second. Delay of game is what it was.
I think maybe this official coming in from the near side and saying there was an injury.
Yeah.
Let's restart that clock.
Yeah, I think you're right because we talked about Higgins hobbling off, and I think everybody was waiting for him to get off the field. And they started that game clock a little bit too quick. So they're going to give him another chance here. Maybe not.
Well, they're still
so much for that. So much for the refs being a nice guy.
No, yeah, I thought, I really thought so. That's why they got the delay of game, because he took a long time to get over on the field. I guess that goes to show,
hey,
if you're hurt, just go down and at least get the clock stopped, because he had to go all the way across the field.
Yeah, it was tough. And that clock, I think that play clock may have started a little bit quicker than normal. Nonetheless, 1st and 15. Schuler, handoff inside, nothing there. And it's like, really, it was kind of as if Capital was in on that play.
About the time he took the handoff, he was getting knocked down.
Yeah.
So now we're at the 6:30 mark, and time to go for Nampa.
Yep.
I think they want to eat up as much time as possible, and I'd really be curious to see if they're able to punch this in if they go for 2 when they get in that situation.
Right now they're worried about 2nd and 17. Back at the 42-yard line. Back, pass batted at the line of scrimmage, knocked down, intended over there for Higgins, but never got there. So big job, and I think it was Josh Summers who knocked that down, the big number 70, who had some cramp problems earlier, who's their punter, but boy, I tell you what, he was right there with the big paws that time.
Yeah, huge play to knock that down. Brings up 3rd and 17. This might be 4-down territory anyway, so we'll see what they decide to do, whether they go for it all or try to pick up 10 or 12.
Well, I think a lot of it depends here. If they can get half of it back, they may go for it. Here comes the pressure screen play. The pass, no good. They lose more yardage. And again, they try to go to Higgins. They got it to him, but Higgins, when he turned around, had a Capital man right in his face.
It's Caden Mastretti that just stood him up right there, brings him down.
So it's going to be 4th down and forever, about 24.
And they got a punt, and this is a dangerous play. It has been all night for Nampa.
Well, you watch the long snapper. If Capital doesn't bring it, I don't know why they wouldn't, because they've got it loaded up on the right side to come in, because the snap always takes a long time. High snap over the head of the punter. He tried to put some zoom on it, and just like that, Nampa's going to give the ball up at the 10-yard line. It's almost going to be 1st and goal to go for Capital. I think the long snapper that time tried to put a little oomph on it.
Yeah,
he just put it over his head.
He rocketed it over the head, and those 2 bad snaps are going to end up most likely finishing the game off here for Nampa in favor of Capital. The ball down around the 10-yard line, and Capital probably has a good opportunity to punch this thing in and stretch it out to 2 scores.
So we got a Nampa player down. They're working on him. This one does not look like cramps. Looks like he may have gotten the wind knocked out of him. Trainer's out there, and I can't get a number right now, but the Nampa player is down right at about the 10-yard line. And I'm sure what happened, he just got caught up right in that crowd as everybody was going for the ball after it was snapped over the punter's head. And you're right, they're going to put the ball right at the 10-yard line. It's going to be, I think they can get a 1st down. And I'm hoping it's just cramps again. And the player they're working on is Peyton Gunter, the backup quarterback, and also but it's not a cramp. He got the wind knocked out of him. He's walking off real slow, but he's walking under his own power. Good news. I just think he got his bell rung.
Yeah, he went down on that ball, and I think probably got landed on by a couple of players that didn't really need to land on him. But this is dangerous right here, because if Capital scores, it's all but done.
All right, here we go. I think technically it's right at about the 10.5-yard line. Handoff up the middle, down to the 1-yard line. And they're going to put it right down there. Is that Olson? Or no, that's Bell. Brody Call. So Brody Call. Having a pretty big night. They had Olson 23 and Call 28 out there. It's hard to tell the 3 from the 8 sometimes this time of night. But this time it's Olson in the backfield behind Clark. 1st and goal to go. Bad snap. Clark is going to have to keep it and gets out of bounds at about the 5. So he's going to lose yardage.
The dangerous snap kind of bobbled it back there. And a great situation, though, if you're Nampa, have a loss on the play, ball goes out of bounds, the clock stops, and he loses about 6 or 7 yards. That thing's back to the 8.
Yeah.
So it gives you a little more breathing room here if you're Nampa, a couple of chances to maybe make a stop.
Well, I tell you what, in a game like this, 28-21, I mean, this could be a defensive stand that helps you win or lose this game. Clark rolling to his right, rolling, looking into the end zone, throws, touchdown. And that's Nate Cherry. So Nate Cherry comes up with a touchdown reception. And
we got a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, we do have a flag, so let's check that out. It looks like it's 34-21.
Might be roughing the passer.
So if it is roughing the passer, it is going to be a touchdown.
Touchdown's good. Personal foul.
Nate Cherry with a reception. 34-21, 4:30 to go in this ball game.
You know, so that touchdown pass, they were drifting to the right side, everybody including Clark. And then all of a sudden, Cherry, he comes back left. He just cuts it back in towards the inside of the field, throws across his body, and nobody was there as everybody had drifted right. Just a great route run by Cherry to finish up this game.
Well, when you give Max Clark that much time, kick is up, and it is good. So 35-21, 14-point ball game with 4.5 to go here at Donald Larson Park. Capital started off 4-0 last year. Trying to do likewise this year and keep it going. Once again, I want to thank Bob's Bicycles on Fairview and Boise for being one of our webcast sponsors tonight. Bob's Bicycles, family owned since 1979, and their selection of mountain bikes, road bikes, BMX cruisers, and comfort bikes second to none. Whether online at bobsbicycles.com or on the showroom floor, Bob's Bicycles will have the bike, accessories, and clothing to fit your needs. And, of course, they've got that in-store financing, 6 months, no interest. So stop in, say hello to Vern. Bob's Bicycles, serving Idaho for more than 40 years now, proud to support Idaho student athletes. And tomorrow night, Meridian Mountain View right here on IdahoSports.com. And if you're into 5A SIC action, if not, you got on IdahoSports.com Elko and Middleton.
That's right. That one will be video. We can do video over there at Middleton, so that'll be these. You know, those are just a couple of the 18
games
we
got a whole bunch
Idaho
tomorrow, all across the
weekend.
state. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit for everybody. There's a 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, and 5A game this week. So
yeah, and you got all kinds of 8-man Saturday too.
That's true. Yeah, that'll be fun to watch. Those 8-man games are. If you've never watched one, they can turn on a dime. Last year, Idaho City was up 42-14 on Wilder in the third quarter. They lost that game.
Wow.
64-54.
Wow.
In just a fun. It can turn like that.
Well, Capital get the kickoff from the 45-yard line of Nampa, and just for fun, they kick it out of the end zone. So there's no return, no harm, no foul. And it'll be on the 20-yard line at will for Nampa with 4.5 minutes to go here in this football game.
And the score here does not indicate how close this game is. If it finishes like this, people say, oh, Capital beat them by 2 touchdowns. But really, I think Nampa almost beat themselves by 2 touchdowns late in this game by having those balls go over their head.
Yeah, it's been some mistakes that Nampa made. They got a couple things to work on. Certainly the long snapper tonight did not help them and help their cause. A couple of punts blocked. I think they found their quarterback, though, and Gabe Navarro. And he's just got to kind of grow up. He's a junior. He's going to run for his life here. Does a good job. Gets a first down. Wow. Out across the 30 to the 33. So 13-yard pickup. Gabe Navarro, 5'11", 165-pounder, so not a big kid, although 5'11 is not bad. 165, little weight room action. He can gain a few more pounds. Handed off to Ryan Schuler up the middle for about 9.
So the last couple plays gotten some yards on the ground, but is it too little, too late?
And what they need is a big breakaway play to get it back to a one-possession game, and then they can kind of play back the way they've been. But they need something big to happen here if they're going to win tonight.
And their defense played great. Really, it hasn't been the defense that's given up these last 2 touchdowns. It was special teams.
Intercepted. The pass over the middle, picked off. Nice job there by number 54, Jack Murphy, the senior. Murphy, the linebacker, saw that coming. He just played the eyes of Navarro and said, I'm taking this ball back, and that's going to ice this thing right there.
Yeah, 3:32 on the clock. Still a good amount of time, but you got to think that this one's all but wrapped up if Capital can pick up a first down or 2 on the ground.
Yeah, I got to believe if I'm Todd Simmons right now, I'm going to go ahead and go to the running game, make Nampa use their timeouts, or, run this game out.
Now, what a great game, though. This is a great way to start the season. Nampa's got to be happy with what they've seen. I would say outside of those special teams, I think that's probably something that they work on in practice this week is getting those snaps down and getting the blocking shored up on the punting.
Well, when you have a block, kick, return for a touchdown, and then you have a snap go over the punter's head,
right,
and you give the team a 1st and goal to go.
Yeah.
You got to go back and look and say, yeah, aside from those 2 things right there, we went nose to nose, heel to heel with these guys.
They did. 3 offensive touchdowns to 3 offensive touchdowns. That's the difference in the game is that special teams right there.
So they're kind of working that time on Jack Murphy, who intercepted the ball and on the play kind of was shaken up a little bit on the tackle. So here we go. And he's going to stay in the ball game. So first down and 10, ball at the 32-yard line. Capital trying to put this game away. Clark hands it off. Run down the left side. Couple of yards, maybe more than that, maybe 5. Nice job. And that is Olsen that was in there. Jacob Olsen. Let's give him a solid 3.5. He's got more than 6, but about 7 yards ago. So 3-yard gain. Again, Olsen. Nope. This looks like a new runner in there, Josh Garcia. So Garcia with the ball. So Todd Simmons having a few people in there now to just kind of run this thing out. Clock running to 2:45. So we got to be thinking about a player of the game, big guy.
Man, I don't know who to pick. There's so many options.
So
it was
many
just
things
a very
here,
even. Like one player didn't dominate. I think just the special teams for Nampa gave up a couple scores. Clark played well, and then you look on the other side, and Navarro played well. It'll be tough. It'll be a good conversation.
It will. Go, Avery! And there's Avery Downey going left side. Downey down the sidelines. And Downey's close. He's got another first down. He goes out of bounds. That stops the clock with 2:13 to go. So right now Capital does not have to score, but obviously, so they'll keep it on the ground. Capital just trying to run this clock out, get out of here with a victory on opening night for them. Olsen, the running back, standing right behind Clark. Clark in the shotgun, takes the snap, turns around, says, here you go, Jacob. Jacob left side, down the sideline, steps out of bounds again. So rather than running it up the middle so this clock continues to run, Capital trying to hit the corners.
You got to stay in bounds right there.
Yeah, I think you do. I think if you're a runner, you just go down. Keep that clock running. You don't need any more. Ball now at the 12-yard line. Second down and 5. And now they've got Josh Garcia at running back behind Clark. Clark again in that shotgun, turns around. Garcia up the middle. He's wrangled down. But that'll keep the clock going, and that's exactly what everybody wants. Because, Nampa's not looking to use any of their 3 timeouts. They'll leave them on the board. They kind of know what went wrong tonight. They know what they have to work on. They know what they found. They probably found a quarterback.
I think they found a lot.
Navarro, yeah.
I think they, like you said, nose to nose with one of the top teams in the 5A SIC. Outside of 2 bad punts, this is a tie game.
Yeah, I thought their receivers, Fricky and Higgins, looked pretty good. They did a good job. Man in motion. Little pitch out. Nice job there to Nate Garcia. Nate Garcia.
Oh, the ball's down.
Yeah, is it out?
Yeah, I think Nampa has it.
Garcia carried the ball, got hit.
And they do.
Inside the 10, and Nampa did come up with a fumble. So with 1:18 to go and down 35-21, down by 14, Nampa comes up with the football.
So, you can look in retrospect, say, man, if we had used those timeouts the last 2 plays, maybe we have more time on the clock. It'll be tough to score 2 touchdowns in a minute and 18 seconds. But, hey, you never know, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, Nampa back against the wall, as they say.
Expect Capital to be pretty spread out, saying, hey, we'll give you 10, 15 yards, but
low snap, picked up, handoff up the middle. That looks like Castillo running. He's still running out to the 25, near the 30-yard line.
And he got out of bounds.
Yeah, 110. You can see why he had a good game against Middleton last year. Carrillo, rather. I said Castillo. I meant Carrillo. Carrillo with a nice run up the middle. Little pass to the outside. And, of course, right now they're completing these things. And they're completing them because, really, Brett Sun got that pass. But they're completing it because Capital's kind of given them.
Yeah, they'll say, hey, you know what? You can pick up 7 to 10, but you want to go deep for 15? We won't let you do that. We'll let you eat up time. There's a minute and 4 seconds left. Eventually, you're going to run out of time doing those short passes.
So Nampa back to pass. Navarro chased out of the pocket, rolling to his right, looking downfield. He's got to let it fly. And he's going to finally run, and he's brought down inbounds. They'll keep the clock going. He got close to a first down, and actually he did get a first down. And Nampa calls a timeout. So Nampa's not going to leave all 3 on the board. They will take a timeout.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him just bomb that thing. Just throw it deep. See what happens.
And I'm sitting here trying to think about the player of the game because obviously we've pretty much got to go with the Capital player, the way Capital played tonight, win this game, 35-21. But you're right. They kind of spread the love out tonight. They spread the glory, if you will. And it's hard to kind of come up with anybody.
The touchdowns have been spread even. I mean, I'm looking at my sheet here, and Cherry does have a couple of touchdowns. I believe he had an interception too, I think.
He did, and so that would kind of lead me towards him a little bit. With that interception that he had, if you remember, he had one right at the goal line.
Right, that was it. Okay.
And then a couple of touchdowns.
That was a huge
so
stop.
Maybe we're kind of convincing ourselves, aren't we?
Unless Navarro comes up and throws 2 touchdown passes in the final 40 seconds.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work. But he hands the ball off. Ball comes loose. Stripped away. Capital says they have it. We'll wait for the officials to make it official.
They do.
And the officials haven't made it official, but they do. Now they do. Capital has it. This one is in the books. Capital is going to go to 1-0. And Nampa 0-1, but Nampa went on the road.
Yeah.
Played a 5A team.
I mean, the score does not indicate how tight of a game this was. From beginning to end, you take away this fourth quarter where those 2 punts, one was blocked, returned for a touchdown, and then the one goes over his head and leads to another touchdown. This was an even game, back and forth. No team had a lead of more than a touchdown until the very end.
You know, I've done a lot of football, college, high school, otherwise, and very rarely do I see a team win when they have had a punt blocked return for a touchdown by the other team.
Yeah.
That seems
tough.
to be a game changer for some reason. And it just happens, and that's what happened tonight. So the clock is running. Ball is set right there at midfield. And Capital in no hurry to get the play going. They'll line up, and I think Max Clark will just basically take a knee. So this one's going to be in the books. 35-21. Capital. And tomorrow night, Meridian Mountain View, that's going to be it. These two teams kind of meeting each other. Do we want to take a break and come back? We'll come back. Final score tonight, 35-21. Capital over Nampa on IdahoSports.com.
Banking. Maybe you enjoy the person-to-person attention you get going to your bank. Maybe you enjoy the convenience of banking from home sweet home. Or maybe you like the flexibility of paying your bills, applying for a loan, or talking to your personal banking person from wherever fits your fancy. Then definitely, you should bank at Mountain West Bank. Member FDIC. The easy, convenient, any way you want to bank.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. And I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
I'm Dr. Christine Hahn. I'm an infectious disease doctor, and I'm Idaho's medical director for public health. It's my mission to keep our communities healthy and safe. That's why I believe every Idahoan should get their COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine's been tested. It's proving to be very safe, and it's the most effective tool we have to stop the spread.
Walk into a pharmacy or visit covidvaccine.idaho.gov to find your free COVID-19 vaccine.
And welcome back, everybody, to Donna Larson Park. It's all over here. Capital beats Nampa 35-21. Wayne Zubak along with Logan Green. Time now to name our player of the game, IdahoSports.com player of the game. And tell you what, you got to go with Nate Cherry. You really do. He had a couple of touchdowns tonight. He had a pass interception right there at the goal line. Played really well. I think he was really a part of that blocked punt that was returned for a touchdown a little bit later on. He didn't do it, but he was part of that pressure that caused the block punt. So Nate Cherry, our IdahoSports.com player of the game, did a good job.
Yeah, he was just involved in everything, had that 8-yard touchdown catch that really sealed the deal to go along with his 14-yard touchdown reception in the second quarter. So congratulations. And like you said, big interception at the goal line. So he was involved in scoring 14 and taking away 7. So, a 21-point swing for him, you could say, in this game. So congratulations, Nate Cherry.
Hey, we started the fourth quarter tied 21-all. It was just one of those games. So it went right down to the wire, and a couple of things happened, and Capital with 14 fourth quarter points to kind of go away 35-21 with the victory. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be over at Mountain View. It'll be Mountain View and Meridian. We'll have it right here on IdahoSports.com, 5A SIC action. You're going to be in Middleton, and you'll have Elko coming up from Elko, Nevada to take on the Vikings of Middleton.
That's right, and there's tons of other 5A games around the state. And CUNA's at Lewiston. We've got Madison over in the east, as well as Coeur d'Alene. You can use the little multi-window option there on the website and watch all the games at once if you want.
So it'll be fun. A lot of things going on here at IdahoSports.com, your place to keep track of everything that is happening in Idaho high school athletics. Folks, this has been an IdahoSports.com Game Streams production. As always, presented by your local Toyota dealer, Toyota Let's Go Places, and by Project Filter, Idaho Fights Tobacco. Also want to thank our local sponsors, our Power Booster sponsors, the College of Western Idaho, Hoffman Auto Body, Best Western Plus, Overhead Door, Big Eye Insurance Company, and Donut Jacob Pacific Residential Mortgage, and our webcast sponsor tonight, Bob's Bicycles of Boise. Special thanks to the athletic director, Jason Willer at Capitol High School, and their entire staff for their hospitality and help in getting this game broadcast to all of us. Also, congratulations again to Nate Cherry of Capital, our IdahoSports.com player of the game. So thanks for joining us. Capital beating Nampa tonight 35-21 for my broadcast partner, Logan Green, and everybody else behind the scenes right here at IdahoSports.com. I'm Wayne DeZubak. So long until next time. Seeing you here on IdahoSports.com.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com Game Streams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of IdahoSports.com is strictly prohibited. This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com Game Stream.